We're back. It's Monday. It's Collider Live. You might be thinking, wait, that's not the voice of Kristian Harloff. You're right. It's the voice of Josh Macuga, straight out of Pittsburgh, where the humidity crippled me daily. My sweaty body. I sweated through 5 shirts on the 4th of July. Just a heads up. Joined, as always, by the lovely Roxy Striar.
Hello.
How are you, Roxanne?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Your hair is looking brighter.
It is a V-blonde, as the kids say.
V-blonde.
V-blonde.
V.blonde. And Mark Riley looking great. Fresh haircut.
Wow.
Hey, how's it going,
Mark.
everybody? I was wine tasting all weekend. Threw out my back, picking up a case of wine.
Did he throw? Is that what happened?
He threw out his back over the weekend. He asked me to step in today. Harloff is on a call, so I am producing the show as best I can.
Legitimately picking up a case of wine?
No, I was joking. I was joking. He threw out his back doing something.
Well, here's the thing. I think, first of all, that's John Rocha.
Hello.
If you guys are just listening at home and you don't know
that was my Demigorgon dance, by the way. Anyway,
it's called the solar flare? No, the flare.
Mind flare.
Mind flare. I did finish it last night at about 10:15.
I finished it as well.
Yeah.
So good.
The spoiler review with Dad, myself, and Perry, we tried to get Roxy on it, but she already did 640 reviews of it at AfterBuzz.
Crazy, yeah.
So.
You want to know something insane about it, though? Yeah. Okay, season 1, I did the official Netflix after show for Stranger Things.
Cool.
So we got screeners. They wanted them out really far in advance so they could put it online.
Sure.
And so I watched all of season 1 on green screen with no Demogorgon. So anytime 11 was doing anything, it was to a wall.
That's ridiculous.
And that is what I was watching.
And
then
Netflix
I was
wants
doing,
you to review it
and
like
then
that?
I was reviewing, but it would have descriptions underneath, like notes for the VFX people.
Wow.
Insert blah 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 here. So it was so funny because we were talking about it. I went back a while ago to look at what some of the comments were on it, and people were writing like, they're not going to mention how the monster looks at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
And I was like, yep, nope,
That's just
not at all.
That's smart. That's really good.
There was no upside down. It was all just green screen with
you know what
slit
look
in the
I
middle.
loved? It was when Sarah Jessica Parker came out as the Demogorgon. We were like, holy shit.
It was crazy. Yeah, but at the time we weren't allowed to say anything. I honestly don't know if I'm allowed to say anything now, but I just did.
Let me ask you a question.
It's been a couple years.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever rewatched season 1 with the Demogorgon?
So,
because I don't know if I could do that.
I don't want to give any spoilers for season 3, but I will say that there was a couple of surprises that took place for me with how certain aspects of things in the world looked.
Wow.
Where I was like, oh, that's what we've been talking about. So I did go back and see a couple images, but I didn't ever go back and rewatch all the things.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, if I was, because back in the day when I first moved to LA, I lived with a dude who was a manager, and he was managing talent. He got screeners for all kinds of movies early and all kinds of stuff. And I watched a lot of different movies where it was just like, and here insert VFX. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't go through a movie and then somebody tells me there's VFX here, because my mind does not work like that. I have a good imagination, but
The worst is watching those old videos of the prequels where you're watching them. Portman and Christian are acting to a broom handle with a tennis ball on the top.
Well, that's
or
what the
Sky Captain with that old film with the Paltrow. You're like, holy shit. Here's the thing, though. I think there's I bet the Netflix Christmas party is very interesting because probably used your videos and green screened a bunch of shit behind you, having you react to a bunch of offensive shit.
Whoa.
Probably some offensive stuff was on there that they used. You know how Netflix rolls.
Yeah,
similar to what you were just talking about the prequels, though, I read that the monsters this season were a stick with a volleyball or a stick with a beach ball on top.
Well, if you watch any of the Game of Thrones stuff, it's Daenerys Targaryen acting to a tennis ball that's supposed to be Drogon, or her riding what looks like a terrible mechanical bull at not Saddle Ranch, at like Saddle Rock in downtown somewhere that's not the LA Strip. It's like the worst mechanical bull you can find. It's in the backyard of somebody's house, and it's all green, and that's her dragon that she's supposed to be riding. And if you watch that Last Watch documentary, did you guys watch the one after Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah.
Jaime Lannister and Cersei Lannister are like supposed to be acting as the whole world is falling around, and they're standing in front of a door that's just green.
Yeah.
So I mean, that goes to show you how tough acting can be sometimes.
But that's so crazy because remember when Mina Massoud came on the show and was talking about how he was on a magic carpet that had 380 hydraulics and was like legitimately moving. It's like we can't get this girl something that resembles a dragon in any way.
Sort of dragon,
or kind of something dragon-esque.
Just give me one large green dragon. Isn't that better?
Yeah, I would think so.
There's got to be someone down there by Hollywood and by that's out on the Hollywood Boulevard who can put on the dragon outfit and come out.
Totally. But it gives you so much respect for the VFX people because when I was watching that and then I did go back and look at a couple of things, I was like, oh, wow. This makes the whole show.
100%. The fact that you had to watch it without it, I wouldn't even liked the show.
It was still, the characters were still amazing, but we didn't know if it was going to be a huge hit because I was like, I guess it depends what it looks like.
Totally. You're 100% right.
Yeah, and it ended up looking amazing, so good for them.
It's kind of like there was that show that we brought up here a long time ago about the woman is dating only guys in masks. It was on Fox in like the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Wait, didn't it have an epic host?
The host, it wasn't Ryan Seacrest. Wait, I know.
No, it was somebody.
Oh, it was Joey Buttafuoco? No.
Was it Buttafuoco?
John Cena.
I don't think it was John Cena, but it was somebody great. Who was it?
Cody, what was that? It was like the Masked something.
My Personality. Who was the host? Mr. Personality.
Mr. Personality.
Who was the host of Mr. Personality? I remember this being somebody bizarre.
Hosted by what? What's that?
Or was it not?
We saw it. Remember, it was like it was a total
Monica Lewinsky.
Monica Lewinsky.
That's
who it
Monica
was.
Lewinsky.
Oh my God.
Who was your guess? Ryan Seacrest.
No, I said it wasn't Ryan Seacrest, and I said Donnie Wahlberg. I think, but that's clearly
Wahlberg's not. No, that's not a bad guess.
I said Joey Buttafuoco.
Buttafuoco works too.
Monica Lewinsky, Joey Buttafuoco.
Whoops, daisy.
He's hosted a few things.
Ryan Seacrest, all the same fault.
Joey Fatone is another possible guess.
Well, Joey Fatone.
Joey hosts a lot.
At that time, Joey was singing.
Yeah. Joey Fatone hosts currently that Common Knowledge show on Game Show Network, which my wife and her two sisters were on. They were on an episode of it. Nice. Yeah, they lost. Instead. Here is the worst part. Yeah, I mean, they played a three guys that were clear. I think it was a woman and two guys that were clearly just head and shoulders trivia better than they were. It's kind of like it's a fun show, but their first name of the three girls, because they're all blondes, they were the Blontourage, and they just changed it to the Gordon sisters.
But the Blontourage is so fun.
I know, the Blontourage is great.
The Gordon sisters.
Okay, so before we go on, we have a lot of stuff that we're talking about today. Let me just tease what we got. We got that
what
Mulan
do we got?
I appreciate you reading the notes.
Yeah, I'm trying. Here we go. First, we got that Mulan trailer, which I walked. I need to watch the original Mulan because I've never watched it before. Never seen Mulan.
Okay, I don't want you to.
Oh, really?
I absolutely do not. Because if you say one thing negative about it, I'm throwing you off the show.
Wow. But here's the thing. I've never disliked a Disney animated movie.
What about a musical?
Yeah, I don't like those.
Okay, well, it's a musical.
An animated musical.
Who did the song for it? Didn't they win an Oscar or something?
John Cena. It was John Cena.
John Cena wrote all the Mulan music.
Oh, man.
He felt very inspired.
We've got a new Maleficent trailer. I will never call it Maleficent.
Okay.
We've got Spider-Man crushing at the box office. We're going to get to all that news. We're also, I would imagine when Kristian comes back in, we'll get into some serious Stranger Things more discussion in the 11 o'clock hour. I would think he watched some of it.
Yeah.
I gotta.
No? Well, I guess we'll see.
I'm not
4 days.
Yes.
Yeah, 4 days off.
Does he even watch?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course he does.
Do you even binge, bro?
Do you even binge, bro?
He's got kids. He probably did 4th of July things.
Yeah. I think
barbecue.
We all did. What did you guys do on the 4th? Would you?
Oh my God! I got wasted. Oh my God!
Oh yeah, Roxy's the best on Instagram. Because I follow your drunk exploits crazy.
That was crazy, though.
This is my favorite, Roxy.
Feeling
it already for tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh God. And boy, did I feel it the next day. And my 91-year-old Grammy wrote to me being like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Yes, Grammy." It was insane.
What'd you do?
I wasn't intending to do what I did, so I had no plans for the 4th. It's kind of a weird weekend for me. I've never not gone back home for it. So there's a whole family aspect to it. So I was like, I'm just not going to make plans and I'm just going to do nothing and whatever. It didn't work because my random theater kids from my high school that we were friendly but not super close. One of them texted me and was like, "Do you want to go to the beach?" that morning. And I was like, yeah, okay. So she came over. We started taking shots. She brought friends of hers from college. We ended up at the beach.
Not a copy of Friends from College on DVD.
No, I wish.
Just Friends
love
from
that
College.
show. Yeah. Who's going to pick it up? Pop? Come on.
Hulu?
Come on.
They just picked up one day at a time.
But I don't think they can do that.
The Friends from College is a tough one.
Streaming can't go to streaming within like 2 years or something.
Well, one day at a time just got picked up, I think.
By Pop.
That was Pop.
No, that was CBS's
Pop. My bad.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
I think the hard part with Friends from College is that the cast of that show is so effing busy that for them to pick it up, they got to pay.
Great point.
I don't think that cast even was that. If they had fought for it, I think they would have gotten. So anyway, we went to the beach and then we just like hopped everywhere.
What beach did you go to?
Santa Monica, which was not that crowded, and I was kind of surprised by that.
I think people did not want to celebrate. I had this thing that we did the same thing. We went.
You were at Santa Monica?
No, we went to El Segundo and then ended up at Santa Monica to the pier.
I was at the pier.
Yeah, we were trying to find
time?
the Stranger Things installation, like around noon.
That is not what I was there.
Yeah, you were there.
You knew.
I saw you. I didn't want to have a problem. So we stayed. No, I didn't see you.
That would have been so sad.
No, we went to El Segundo because that's where she used to live, and so we went there to have
Downtown
nice
El Segundo
breakfast.
is amazing.
Yeah, El Segundo's
She
fantastic.
is your girlfriend.
Yeah, my girl. Oh, sorry, my girlfriend. And I. Yeah.
That's where she lived.
She used to live.
11.
You guys know her.
I've spoken about her
11.
at times on the show. Yeah.
I didn't know if you were talking about who.
my
Cousin,
mom and I.
mom.
Yeah, my mom. No, we had a great time, and then we went over to the pier because she doesn't like large crowds. Yeah. But I had to talk her into going because she's a massive Stranger Things fan. So we went there to try to find, and apparently the installation was the week before. Ooh. So they had nothing there for us. And then eventually we made our way back to West Hollywood. But the streets were clean. There wasn't that much traffic.
True.
It wasn't crazy. And I just think people didn't want to celebrate.
Yes and all the yeses.
I don't think that's the case.
Okay.
I think what the case is one, I think a lot of people leave LA for 4th of July.
Very true.
Okay.
All my friends were in Vegas.
San Diego was
Vegas.
huge
Or back east.
I was back east. I also think that people, as soon as you say, "Oh, here comes the legend,"
Is he coming in?
Get up, Josh. Get up.
Is he trying?
Josh,
Wait,
move.
Got to lift
moving.
up on that.
I know.
Gotta
There we
lift
go.
up. There you go, buddy.
Stinky door.
The door stinks.
No, not
It smells like.
No.
It does. It smelled like wet carpet in here today. It made me a little nervous.
Maybe somebody's cleaning it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We were talking our July 4th plans.
July.
No, it was, Roxy and John.
Who you
said that
calling
it's-
July?
July, sorry.
Oops.
Don't
Well,
say
thanks for
that.
coming in, Kristian.
Yeah, let's get dropping some bombs real quick. No, did you guys talked about July 4th in general? What you guys did?
Well, we're in the middle of it. Yeah.
They were just saying that they went to Santa Monica and there was nobody there. And my theory is that people
Well,
get
not nobody.
Well, I mean, it wasn't jam packed.
We thought it'd be crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people go out of town, or they're just like, I'm not going to go to the beach and deal with the traffic and deal with the parking, and then it kind of is a little emptier than you
Right.
think. That would always be my thought.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I think that because I saw your pictures from there, and it didn't look super
Yeah, it
crowded.
wasn't that crowded.
And there's so much to do.
Yeah.
What did you do? You were.
I was there too. I can't
Oh,
believe
really?
that you
Can't
were
believe we didn't
there.
see each other.
Roxy got hammered.
I got
Did you?
smashed.
Annihilated.
Smashed.
On what?
Tequila.
Tequila.
And then I ended up at Soho House at night, and I was way too drunk to be
Shouldn't
there.
have been
You were
there.
at Soho
Oh,
House?
yes.
So was I. We got the dinner there.
That's
Are
not-
you
is
are
that
you making a
that
joke
night?
right now?
joke.
Oh, now you.
That's good.
I
Pretty good
really,
delivery.
if
Kid's
we
an actor.
really had done that, I was an embarrassment to society that night. Like it was not. I was like flailing my arms and stuff, like really Roxy
That's as
drunk.
crazy as you get.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of flailing, Christian.
I was doing the
think
flail
I think I
thing.
beat everybody. 'Cause I had a crazy weekend.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm sitting down, and I hear this. Fuck. I'm like, what? Fuck. I'm like,
no.
The
Oh,
little.
no.
I'm like, what are you saying? Fuck. And I'm like,
She's trying to say fork.
so like, what are you saying? And then my other daughter walks in and she hears, fuck. And she goes, oh. My other daughter goes, she said F-U-C-K. She said F-U-C-K. I take it easy, take it easy. I go, Maisie, what are you trying to tell me? I was like, let's try to say something else. I go, duck? She said, no, fuck. And she's pointing to a fork. And she's like, fuck. And I'm like, oh, the fork. I'm like, that's not great.
So what'd you do?
I
Tried to
videotaped
teach
her.
her.
but I
Smart.
But we didn't make a thing out of it because then eventually she'll say fork. But
You hope.
I hope.
Fucking fork.
My little niece, when she was like same age, probably 2.5, some 3, she always wore Crocs. And she's like, I love cocks. And I was like, oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know.
It's
Good for her. Live your best life.
I have some notes that I was so with on this morning.
You have notes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. Did you guys talk about, and again, if I covered it already, then I apologize, but the flying knockout for UFC?
Oh,
Did you
we
see
haven't
this?
talked about that. No.
Did you think when you were gone we talked about the flying knockout?
Knowing him?
Possible.
Maybe.
By
I mean, you've only
by
been gone
himself?
15 minutes. We literally just
Yeah.
talked a little bit about 4th of
July
July
4th.
and then talked about watching Stranger Things. And we were wondering if you had watched.
Which we'll talk about for sure
Yeah,
because I did
yeah.
watch the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
But the flying knockout, it was.
I said first 4, so I was pretty close.
I
You're
said
close.
no shot. You watched any.
You're wrong.
That's true.
Yeah, I watched Stranger.
She didn't even know you watched Stranger Things. Does he watch it? Of course he watched Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
absolutely.
What I said I do, then binge, bruh.
It's not a outrageous question or even thought to think because of my.
She said
I
you have
think he has
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
It was
of this.
4th of July weekend.
Most of the stuff you've said that most people watch, I've
Yeah.
not seen a single frame of it.
Did
So,
you guys watch Big Little Lies or
No, I had to
Euphoria
get-
last night?
No, there's pick and
Okay.
choose here.
I watched Big Little Lies. I'm halfway through Euphoria.
Woof. Oh, that was a tough episode.
I'm too old to
Euphoria.
watch.
Yeah, but
I'm too old to watch Euphoria.
But the knockout, though.
It's not my generation.
The knockout, though.
Yeah.
Dude.
This was.
Does he have it? Does Cody have it? Queued up?
We can bring that. We can
It's
bring
quick.
it up.
It's like
you just
5
bring
seconds.
up UFC fastest knockout. Cody, you'll find it on Twitter. Yeah, it's all over Twitter. It's fine.
It's
Don't
not-
worry.
it's
Don't
not-
worry.
it's
Don't
not
worry.
bad.
Don't
It's
worry
not
about it.
something-
No, she's saying
No.
it because of copyright stuff. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
It's too early to
up on
get yelled
Twitter.
at.
We're not going to get yelled at for that. Just, if you just go on Twitter, it's everywhere on social media. But so I have my thoughts on this, Rocha, and I want to hear yours. Is
Sure.
that it? Here it is, right here.
Yeah, just a 17-second video because
Yeah,
that's the whole thing.
just bring it up. Have you seen this yet, Macuga?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so watch, Roxy. This is the beginning of the fight.
And they were talking all kinds of stuff towards each other
Here
before
we
the
go,
fight.
and it starts.
Bam!
And it's over.
You're out!
But now, here's my thing, though.
You're out!
That's that.
That's it.
That's that.
It's over.
Fastest
was
knockout
really
ever
cool
in
what he
UFC
did.
history. Yeah.
They need to fight again
Of course they do.
because that to me is lucky.
Uh-huh.
That's just a lucky. It's just a lucky. That
Well, it's like when you get
Yeah.
opponent's choice
What
and spinner's
happened?
choice
He
in a
jumped-
match.
Yeah.
Need him in the face.
He jumped up and did a flying knee. Like to me, that's just like I don't know. That's that. Look, he won the fight. You
Yeah.
win. You win. How you
It's
gotta
a
win.
legal move.
It's legal.
Yeah.
It's legal. But I want to. To me, it's not like
Wait, when
he's
he
the
was
better
when
fighter.
he started punching him though, he was already out.
Yes,
right?
he
was
was.
done.
But
Okay.
you have to keep going until the ref stops.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but you're allowed to. You don't have to.
But you don't get the victory until the ref stops.
I've always liked the fighters that have seen. I think it actually shows more of a dominance if you see someone knocks out and then you just put your hands up.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
know, because after that, you know the guy's out there. Sometimes you got to make sure. If
Unless
you're
you're
still,
me, who had to ask.
Well, but you're not in the ring, fight. You haven't done this.
Yeah, but there's a
with the
camera
instincts.
right on him.
No, but still.
Look, here's the thing, too. In a situation like this, because you don't see like the head snap back or anything
Right.
like
Yeah.
that, right? Is he doesn't know how hard he actually hit him with his leg because it
Right.
almost looks like more of like an upper leg than it is like a solid knee to the face. Now I've seen like 30 different angles because I was so interested by this because
Yeah.
the only thing I really like about UFC is the knockouts. And so when I saw this, like, all right, it looked too dirty to actually be.
Wasn't dirty.
But
No, it's clean. It's a clean
And-
knockout. But I want to see them fight again to see like
Yeah.
the matchup.
Dude,
'Cause
like,
there's
he
a shot.
just-
There's a shot.
He
Yeah.
caught him clean in the face with his
I think
knee.
the
Knocked him
first
straight
the
out.
first shot when he's on the ground.
That's the worst.
When he's like yelling at
Yeah,
him.
because they were talking all kinds of
yelling?
bad shit to each other. The guy who knocked him out.
Look, he does his own
He
tap
mocks
out of
him.
it.
He mocks him.
Yeah. What
Right
were
here.
they- what
He
was
gets
the
down on
beef?
the ground.
What was the beef?
He was beefing because the guy kept saying that the dude's beneath him and that he shouldn't fight him and it's a waste
okay.
of his time, and he got knocked out. So now people are saying what you're saying, Kristian, is that they need to fight again because this isn't a real display of what these two guys can actually do in
Right.
the ring, and you can't really pick who
A loss
won.
is a loss. You lost
Yeah,
the fight, but
exactly.
I want to see the actual skill versus skill because that's just you got.
Do you think
hit with
this
a
guy
shot.
knew he was going to do that, give it that shot, and hope that it was going to knock him out for a second?
Clearly,
Yes.
yeah.
That was absolutely a planned move.
Absolutely, and he did it, and
Yeah.
he ran all of his speed at him, all of his power, and it worked.
It could have not worked terribly.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Because he could have flipped him
He
over
could've flipped
and
him
then
over.
spun around and just started pounding him.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it was he got lucky with
Yeah,
the
he
shot,
did. He did.
but he won the fight.
Hey.
So I'm not taking
Is
anything away
that
from the win.
luck?
Yeah,
I
a
think
bit
in
so.
that scene,
Yeah.
it's pretty lucky.
It's not
pretty
skill?
Well, there's skill in the move.
Absolutely, there's skill involved in it because you got to be able to throw.
I couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that. There's skill involved
Well,
in it,
you're
but
not
it's
trained
also
to do
lucky in the fact that the guy put his head in the right spot at that time.
Yes.
To where, yeah, he didn't expect it, and either way,
I
I'd
don't
like
like
to see
that
him
he
fight
keeps
again.
punching him in the face.
Well, that's
Well, you
UFC.
have to.
Yeah, it's part. Yeah, but Dan
I'm with
Henderson,
you, though. I
Dan
don't like
Henderson
it.
didn't have to do Bismuth.
Well, Dan, right.
Yeah, no,
right.
he
Good
had a
points.
beef on
Good
Bisping.
points.
You go back to watch that fight. Dan Henderson clearly knew he knocked out Michael Bisping, and then he popped him like 3 different times
Yeah.
when he was on the
There's
floor.
just something so I'm going to get all of the crap in the comments for it. I'm sorry, but there's just something so awful about this. Like just watching
UFC?
well, just watching people kick the living crap
It's
out of
combat
somebody,
sports,
and
yeah.
everybody watching it like.
Barbaric.
I mean, it's the
Yeah, but
age-old tradition.
you watch the NFL and people getting CTE and
100%.
concussions.
There's something so awful
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Both.
I mean,
all like.
Okay.
Yesterday in
Yeah.
the World Cup, that woman got headed right in
Oh,
the
yeah.
face. She was bleeding straight
Which
through.
is the other thing I
Yeah,
wanted to talk to you
I
about,
just-
John.
oh.
So the World Cup,
Yeah.
You've been watching.
Well, Josh and I have both been watching. We've
I've
been
watched
fervent
pretty much
fans of
every
it.
game. I love World Cup soccer.
Yeah.
I'm not as fervent of a fan as you are with like the other ancillary stuff. So, I mean, I keep track of my AS Roma. I make sure I know what they're up to.
But you were hooked.
Oh, dude, 100%. I love this women's team. I think that there are very few sports out there that that can dominate the whole world's attention quite like a World Cup. And I don't care if it's men or women, but the what these women did, what these American women did, they never trailed once.
Yep.
They were only tied a couple times, but they never trailed
They
once.
never tied. They only tried. They were only tied. They were never trailed. I'm sorry, they never
Yes,
trailed. You're right.
Never trailed. 70% of the time they were
Exactly
in the lead.
what you said.
Yeah.
They
My
were tied
apologies.
for a little bit with England. And,
They were. You're right.
Right?
That's what occurred to me. I thought it was a 0-0 thing.
Right,
The 1-1.
right.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, these girls are just awesome, and they're like there's so much personality. That Rose Lavelle goal was just awesome, and
beautiful.
the coolest thing was at the end when they were chanting equal pay. It's just
The fans were chanting
yeah.
equal pay.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it, they've
Disgusting.
what they don't think
Well,
that they don't have equal pay.
That's crazy.
Well, yeah. Well,
It's
if you look
crazy.
at it, they have 4 titles.
Yeah, this is their fourth
The
one.
fourth
This
title.
first time they won back-to-back,
Yeah.
and the first coach to win
Yeah.
back-to-back since the 1930s with an Italian coach.
Well, I was watching that report,
In
and
the
I'm
men's
thinking,
game.
and I'm
In the
thinking
men's.
like I started flashing back to that. What was the
1999?
movie? No, the movie with
Bend It Like Beckham.
nope, the movie with Emma Stone and about the tennis.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Billie Jean King and
so
Bobby
Battle of the
good.
Sexes.
Right.
Battle of the Sexes.
But Battle of the
So
Battle of
good.
Sex, all that in the beginning there. I was thinking this is in the 70s,
Yeah.
right? So where they were saying that they were bless you.
Thank you, guys.
And what the executive said there, and this is exactly what I pictured in my mind. Is like, well, they don't draw the same way. I'm like, every bar I saw was sold
Yeah.
out.
That's
Every
the
stadium I saw
thing,
was
because
sold
if the
out.
argument is going to be about viewership,
right.
Okay, well,
That's what it was with the
You can't-
WNBA
But
back
you
in the
can't
day,
even
right?
argue viewership anymore. This
That's
is
what-
the
that's what I'm
highest
saying.
viewed
that's what I just
World
said.
Cup.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay.
The hard part though, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news on this one, but the men's they get 5 to 10 times the amount of sponsorship money coming in
True.
for it, and that's a tough thing. The FIFA on the men's side awards $400 million to like the winning teams and such. The women's game only gets about $40 million.
Right.
They did not sell out every game during the World
which
Cup.
you could see. Even the third place game was not sold out.
Was not sold out, and they'll sell out every single game for the men's. Again, on the U.S. side, there was no reason for our women to not have equal pay from our men because I don't think that, and we talked about it on the sports side, I don't think women's tennis is the only sport that draws the same as men worldwide. Like as far as we go, that's the only one that draws the same crowds and all that kind of stuff.
Men's team hasn't won a title since 1920.
Men's
right?
has never won a World Cup title
I thought it
ever.
was 20. Oh, they played for it in
They
the
played.
20s.
They played in the past. Yeah, but here's the thing that we have to have a nuanced conversation about this. And I know it's collided, so I'm going to get too deep, but this is just starting to become a powerhouse thing. The Women's World Cup, right? So the Men's World Cup has had decades to build up. I think in the next 3 to 4 decades, the Women's World Cup will match the Men's World Cup with money, sponsorships, viewership, everything, because now countries are investing in their women's programs in ways they never have before, and they're seeing results, positive results. Holland had made their first World Cup just the last World Cup. Here they are playing, or the Netherlands rather, here they're playing in the final, and just won the Euro Championship. So
I love
that's how it goes.
Watching the women's hockey in the last Olympics.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a few sports like watching the men's game and the women's game. To me, looks exactly the same. Watching women's hockey and men's hockey, especially in the Olympics, looks pretty much exactly the same. Yeah. There are very few sports out there, professionally at least, that really garner the same attention, and it's this talent level kind of a situation. It's just very different.
Well, shit, go back to MMA.
UFC.
Look at Nunes, man.
Like, Amanda Nunes.
She
Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm.
And Holly Holm was the first person who beat Ronda Rousey, and she whooped Holly Holm's ass.
Amanda is the greatest to ever fight.
Ever.
Don't give me Ronda. Amanda is the greatest to ever fight.
Well, she fucked up Ronda
She
too.
fucked up everybody.
Everybody. She's awesome.
Maisha,
She's
everybody.
really good. I mean, because she came out of nowhere also.
Yeah,
Remember when that was the stupidest thing.
She's not Cyborg, right? Amanda Nunes?
No.
That's
Ronda
Christine.
Rousey had just come off that loss to Holly Holm.
Right.
And they put her in with her. That was the stupidest thing that anyone's ever done for
Well,
a
she
fighter
wanted
ever.
to prove that she could get back up on the wheel.
She did not have the confidence, or they should have given her a tomato can. Like right off, she would have fought at least 5 more times if that was the case. They put her up against Nunes, who is just a fucking Terminator.
Yeah,
that was.
But you run
silly.
a league, you know what pride's like for the top players. They want to play the top to get back up there when they lose.
I get it, but this is also another. This is as far as, and I'll say trivia as opposed to fighting. When you've got to have your marbles there for. I mean, you got to have them for both, but you really got to have your marbles there to fight
because you can actually get legitimately hurt.
It's the confidence, man.
Unless you're playing Andrew, who likes the tackle bear.
Her confidence was toast. Anyway.
Did you watch a lot of the World Cup, Rox?
Yeah, I did, but not as much as I would like to if I had had more time. But I did wake up super early the other day and check it out for sure. Only because, and honestly, I'm not a huge soccer girl, but showing support.
Yeah, I was at the Yard House on. Did we play Tuesday or Wednesday last week?
When we played Tuesday in England.
Yeah, against England. I'm at Yard House. The bar was packed.
Yeah, it was.
We were all screaming and yelling. It was just the coolest thing. Again, there isn't.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. It's awesome. Yeah. And the fact that our women, like for instance. America, the men's team, played against Mexico in the Gold Cup final, which is nowhere near as big as the World Cup, but it was that night. Yep. And I'm watching it just be like, I'm bored. I'm bored. Our team just isn't, we don't have any stars. We're not as good. And our women are just badasses across the board. It was so fun to watch.
And it couldn't have meant more to them.
Totally.
And you can see it.
Totally.
And here's the thing to think about. They were the number 1 team going into the tournament, so there's pressure of that.
Yeah.
Rapinoe getting into those spats, more pressure on the team.
The tabloids were crushing.
The tabloids on the English side, French side were creating these false narratives that they were an arrogant team, that they were cocky, or whatever, which is a complete lie.
Do you think they're blinded that they don't see that as much as we think that they do?
No,
or
they
do you
see
think
it
that
because they respond to it on Twitter, and then they're asked about it in those press conferences. Alex Morgan responded to it. Even she got shit for the sipping tea thing, which was an allusion to Sophie
like she was
Turner.
Smoking a J.
Yeah,
a little
bit.
A little bit. But they're just trying to create narratives to hate Americans and to hate that America is on top of this sport because they want to be on top of the sport, and they're not used to getting their butts kicked in a sport like this that they started.
Yes.
Go ahead. You had something?
No.
I thought you were going to say something. I was going to say, you know what I hate?
What's that?
And I don't know if you've talked about it, and if you do, I apologize. Earthquakes.
It's gotta be scary when you're kids too, because what do you do?
Yeah, I missed every single one. I've only felt one earthquake in 11 years I've been here.
Well, you know, I feel these
this
two.
second one was
Crazy.
Massive.
It was crazy. So first,
things fell off my wall. My light.
We got home,
swinging.
nothing fell off.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we didn't have anything fall, but so the first one was on July 4th itself, and that one I'm trying to even remember. Oh yeah. My wife didn't even really feel it. I was at the computer, and I was like, holy shit, that was an earthquake. My daughter didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it either.
Not the first one.
I didn't feel it either.
The first one, I was shaving my legs, and
Yeah.
I had one leg on the
shit.
ground, and I had one leg on the thing, and I got a call from my dad.
lucky it wasn't the
and
next
I was
one.
like, "What's up?" He's like, "You okay?"
It would have been like cabin fever.
100%. I literally, thank goodness, I'll never shave my legs again.
Yeah. It would have been like cabin fever on July 5th.
I felt that's how nonchalant it was.
But the second one.
But the second one. So the second one, I was putting my.
I saw your tweet.
I was putting my oldest.
I didn't see it.
It basically was just like that was the biggest.
Yeah.
That was a really big earthquake, right? I'm not imagining that.
Yeah.
I was putting the youngest was going to sleep. My wife was putting her to sleep, and then I read a story to my oldest, and we're sitting there. We're laying in her bed. I'm reading her a story, and at first she was like shaking her leg, and she stopped, but I didn't know she stopped. I'm like. This is going on for. I'm like, stop shaking your leg. She's like, I'm not shaking my leg. And I'm like, holy shit, this is another. I didn't say that, but I'm like, this is another earthquake. Mm-hmm. And she's like, whoa, is this an earthquake, Dad? I'm like, this is an earthquake. And then my wife comes running in. She's like, is that another earthquake? Yeah, and this is. It went on for so long.
Was it a shaker or a roller?
It was both. It was both.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like
everything.
It started like this, and then it went like this.
It was so. And the same thing happened the night before to this one. Like all my plants and everything outside in the courtyard were just moving, right? Yeah. But we grabbed the baby who was sleeping, grabbed her out of there too. My oldest was having like fun. She didn't know what it was. She's hiding under the desk. Yay! I'm like, you didn't say yay for this shit.
Wait, so you said get under the desk?
She got under the desk, yeah. So my wife was make sure that the oldest did, and me, I didn't know where the hell to go. So I was at one point, I'm like, should I go in the bathtub? I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm going to ride this fucker out. And then it stopped. But like the one thing that I was getting sick of that everybody was posting was fucking earthquake pool shots.
Yeah.
How many earthquake pool shots did you see?
I did not get sick of those. I watched every single one of them. Oh my!
Like 30 of them.
I saw they filled up my whole timeline. I clicked on every single one. That shit was crazy.
Did you see the one lady that was sitting there was one woman who she couldn't move. She
Oh,
couldn't
of
move.
course.
She was way closer to the actual the part what's it called, the epicenter. And she's right in the middle there, and it started moving, and it freaked the shit out of me because I just watched the tsunami video from 2004 when that shit went down, and this wave is pushing. She's holding on for dear life. This woman is, and I don't know where she was exactly in California, but that particular video. But I guess what it was, Roxy, that bothered me about these videos is that my wife turned on the news. She loves the fucking local news. She loves the local news for some reason. And she's watching
How old's your wife? 65?
She's 80, I think. And we're watching this, but they kept showing the same fucking pool in loop.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't find another pool or something. And the next news report was like, okay, look, these books falling off shelf.
I'll find them a pool.
Yeah.
All of them. I mean, because that was crazy.
It was. I guess I just got sick. Yeah.
The pools end up being like half full
know.
after
It
that.
was nuts.
You got to see the aftermath.
Did you see
Yeah.
the Mexican kid? This guy, older Latino kid. He tweeted this video. His dad made him stand out there and sweep the water back in as the water was going.
What?
It's fucking brilliant.
That's
The guy
really
tweeted, he goes, "My dad's an asshole. He made me stand out here during an earthquake and sweep the water." And you see the water flying out, and he's just like sweeping it back into the pool.
That is so
I was
funny.
losing
Really
my
funny.
shit.
I'm kind of with you though, Christian. As much earthquake training as I've had at this point, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I was like,
Follow Ken Napzok.
Everybody was like, because I was at AfterBuzz at the time, and by the way, they have all the hanging lights. They
Right.
were swinging,
Yeah.
slant, like
Yeah.
it was insane in there.
Whoa.
And people were like, "Yo, just get in the doorway."
I
And I was like, I think that's been debunked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it has.
so I was like, I think that's been debunked. And so they're all in a doorway, and I'm like, but I don't know what's better than a doorway. So I
run
guess I'll
outside.
just no,
it's
that's
trees.
Been, that's
Trees
been
and
said.
power lines.
You're
Power
not
lines.
supposed to run in.
Right.
You're
Nobody
not
knows what to
supposed to
do.
run in or out.
Just
now.
dive into the
so
hole.
they
Yeah.
say
Supposed
if
to
you're
go on.
inside,
Jump in your pool!
because the worst that can happen to you is in between in and outside. So they say do not run inside or
Right.
outside.
What I worry about, because like I said, like I would just go into the dining room table.
Yeah,
or something,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what you're
I-
supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But what I worry about is the fact that I'm the one asshole that does that and like, does the right thing, but then the roof just falls on me.
Right.
Yeah, I
And This is
know.
a table crushes.
Yeah.
Amanda,
Here you go. This is it. When a 7.1, when a 7.1 earthquake hits Cali and your Mexican dad sends you to sweep the spilling water back into the pool.
that is so funny. Oh man.
Let's try it.
It's really funny.
How did
really
I miss
putting
this
his effort
video?
in there.
I looked at all of them.
We're hard workers, man.
My wife is scared to death of earthquakes, right? But we were in Pittsburgh, so we missed all of them.
Missed all of
And
them.
she would have. Again, the only time, and I think I've told this on this show before, is the only time I ever felt an earthquake was like the second year I was here. I was sitting on the toilet. I was going to the bathroom, and the toilet starts rolling, and I was like, "What's wrong with this toilet? Oh, it's an earthquake!"
Yeah.
But it was very short, but I've never felt one. Never felt another one.
I bet you know when that was that 2009.
Yep.
I remember that one. I was at Warner Brothers, and they have a glass building. Okay, that because I was at one point after I started working for Silver, I started temping for a little bit, and there's this glass building that I was working to the top floor. And I felt the whole building go from left to right. And I said, "Fuck this!" And I left. And I just went. And I left for the day. No chance.
So you're really scared of him, huh?
I was in a glass building.
No.
And it went from left to right.
Let me repeat.
I don't care if you're The Rock.
Yeah.
You're in a glass building. And you're in a structure, and it basically is just like a piece of
Swaying.
paper, like going this. So yeah, I was fucking scared.
So you're just like really scared of them?
Says the guy who got scared of a lady in a costume in a box.
So what, Christian, you're just afraid?
Oh
I know, I'm
Just
just
a big
afraid.
afraid
Puss.
person?
I'm a big
Yeah.
puss.
my goodness.
We were watching the finale of Stranger Things when it hit.
Yeah.
The second, because we didn't feel the first one at all.
Yeah.
And it hits.
What the hell happened here just now?
She goes, sorry,
don't
I'm
know.
old. She goes, okay.
She is his
okay.
girlfriend.
My girlfriend,
Right.
sorry, Lily.
He keeps
She's like,
referring to her
sorry.
as she.
She's the only woman in the world.
The overarching
My
she-
broad.
Yeah. So there's broads at my place, right?
Lily goes, let's get in the door. And we start walking towards the door, and we get in two separate doorways, and we just hold hands while the whole thing is saying. And all I can do
She
is
did everything wrong also.
Yeah, right. Which I
right.
didn't know. Right? We didn't know. It was after we read that you're not supposed to stand in the doorway.
Right.
We should get under our table. But I'm watching the trees do this shit. And I'm starting to like flip the fuck out,
man.
And she looks at me. She goes, "It's okay. It's okay. It's all right." I'm like, "No, we're all gonna fucking die."
That's the thing, though. Like, one of these times,
It's gonna be the big one.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
here's what I started
and I
thinking
don't
about.
know what we're gonna do.
Because we're gonna just sink
Well, we're
into the
all
ocean.
gonna
That's what
die.
we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I have a radio and water and stuff. Do you guys have that?
Yeah, I
not
do.
gonna be enough.
You know,
And a flashlight. I don't think it's gonna be enough at all. But at least I'll survive like 2 extra days or something.
That's
Do you know
true.
why? Do you know why I have it?
To find more water.
For the campaign of San Andreas when it came out on Blu-ray, they sent like earthquake.
way.
Yeah, and I have all
That's
that.
amazing.
But yeah, I was thinking about it too. Like the real, if it was like, let's say like 14 size, right? The whole
You can't. It only goes to 10.
What 10? Whatever. It sinks into the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
That's it. Just sinks.
Yeah.
It goes
Totally.
to 10. Yeah, if it's a 10, it just sinks into the ocean.
I was listening to the ABC News report this morning, and they said this is not related to San Andreas. So this is not a San Andreas situation. But if it does come, their estimates are that the city will cease to exist.
Yes, I'm gonna leave.
It'll
tomorrow.
it'll be like 5,000 people.
How do we like stop
dead and-
that
yeah.
from happening?
You can.
You can't.
Okay, cool.
Earthquake
And I love when
insurance.
people's like, "Yeah, I have a prediction in 2 weeks." You can't predict an earthquake. You really
Well,
cannot.
that
You
was
just
the
keep
whole
saying
point of San
it's-
Andreas.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that they found technology that could predict earthquakes.
Stephen Schiff.
I love it.
I liked that movie.
I did too.
Yeah.
It's
It was
fun.
That's the one with Carla Cugino, right?
And The Rock.
Alexandra Daddario. Yeah.
And The Rock doesn't want to save anybody else but his daughter.
Yes.
Even though his
No,
job
he
is
saves,
to save people.
He saves everybody,
Wait.
but he's
He's
there.
a helicopter
Is that the
pilot.
one with his leg?
Yeah,
or no.
yeah. At the beginning.
No, that's the
Sky-
building one.
I like that one
Skyscraper.
too.
Skyscraper was
I
good.
liked them both.
Yeah. I would have liked to seen that as a rated R movie though. The second one. It would have been more like Die Hard.
What was the
Speaking
other
of
one?
Die Hard, have you gotten to
Rampage?
the point in Stranger Things with the Die Hard reference?
No, but I did watch CNN's 80. Do you see that CNN's 80s movies where they're going?
The movies, yeah.
Both two Schmoedown competitors, Alonzo Duralde and Drew McWeeny.
Drew McWeeny.
Pop
Are
up
they? Are they?
inside. Yeah,
Nice.
they're inside of it.
I posted a tweet yesterday about movies that got a lot of vitriol, which is a lot of fun.
I saw what you did.
Yeah.
I saw what you did.
I didn't
Two of
see.
them. I posted one that I like Ghostbusters 2 more than
Oh, yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I saw
and
that
the other
one.
one that and Clark Wolf has been the one who's like, this is objectively wrong. That Back to the Future 3 is my favorite Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future 3. I love it.
That's not what you said though.
It's
you
the
said
best.
it's the best of the
It's the
franchise.
best of the franchise.
There's a difference between saying it's my favorite and saying it is the best.
Yep.
Still your opinion, but I just
Totally.
think you're a lunatic.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's okay. 103 comments.
But sometimes you do that. Yeah, this is Josh. He's like, "Oh, there's a grenade. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna throw it in that living room. Why? Why not?
That's very true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because I saw you. I can. Even though it wasn't anywhere near you, I saw your face when you tweeted it.
You are correct, sir. Yeah.
You
For
like-
those listening at home, I see Christian just doing a
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
face. Yeah, I don't want to dampen the mood here. Real
here
quick.
we go.
I have to remember this before I forget it. Is I think today might be the first day that we ever have to retire a sound clip.
Which one?
The 8 and 9.
Why?
Because
Oh, no.
I
was
was.
that done for the kid?
Yeah.
What? Wait,
So-
what?
I think you honor. I think you
what?
honor it for me.
Well, so Cameron Boyce
Yeah.
made a video
I'm
for
gonna
my
bring
niece
him
for
up,
her
too.
birthday.
That was Cameron Boyce.
And so I was
didn't
trying
know
to
that
imitate
was
his
it.
voice
Yeah.
for an 8 because he said happy 9th birthday, but it was actually your 8th birthday.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And-
Yeah, I think I don't want to see you
Okay.
retire. I think it's you paying homage
Paying-
to the kid.
paying homage to the-
You're never making fun of him.
No.
you were making fun. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean,
Yeah.
in that's
Crazy.
on my notes to talk about actually too because it broke my heart in a billion places when I heard it because the first thing I saw was Cameron Boyce. Cameron Boyce dies 20 years old. And
Yeah.
at first I don't remember. I'm like, well, who the hell was that? And then I see his face. I'm like, no, not that kid. Because and not that any kid should go, but you know what I'm saying? Like I see his face. I'm like, that kid, not only do I know him from his work with the Adam Sandler movies, but I had known people who had worked with him that all said the same exact thing. He was a sweet, loving, good kid who wanted to just do right by the community.
Thad's wife. Thad's wife worked directly with him.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not
See,
to mention the
really
most beautiful
close.
person I've ever seen. He was gorgeous.
Dude, the kid
Sweetheart
was,
of a kid.
and like the first thing I guess, just being a dad, is I just immediately think of his parents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was having seizures because of an
Seizures.
ongoing medical condition.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
did
Still-
anybody know that was going
I've
on?
never read anything. No.
They said it's still doing an autopsy. That should be, you'll find out more. But I don't know. It was horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 20 years old. I had just gotten to California when that kid was born,
Right.
and he's gone. It's like that. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I hate thinking about it, and it's just seeing all the support and love that everybody kind of came out for him, and they start showing videos how he was a big advocate trying to like help the homeless, and
Although I couldn't watch some of the ones of just him like dancing and smiling.
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible.
He's 20 years old.
20. I was in the airport
20.
yesterday morning, and it pops up on my feed, and I was like, wait, that's the kid that sent my niece a video. And I was like, babe, he passed away. And she was like, what? And, I mean, my wife compared it because her little niece was obsessed with him too. And my little niece was. And she was like, this is when the first celebrity that you were in love with died.
Yeah.
And it's just, man.
Corey Monteith, I remember when that one hit.
yeah.
And it was on my birthday, actually. And I had been like completely obsessed with him. I had met him the week
that
before.
the Glee? Is it?
The Glee kid, yeah.
The Glee kid. It
Yeah.
was just like so freaking young.
And not to take any away from anyone going at a young age to where Corey he was struggling. He had addiction problems.
Yeah.
And we don't know what happened with this guy, but the fact that if it is just a medical condition at 20 years old, it's just like, again,
Well, do you guys think? And again, I have no idea about this kid, but would you call addiction a medical problem? Because I think that it would possibly be referred to as that.
I think sometimes.
It depends. Yeah, I guess it depends on exactly even. I think it depends on what the circumstance is. I never heard about him having, but you never know. You never know.
And I'm so not even saying anything about this particular.
But you're saying whether it's classified as that or not.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what you're asking, and I think that's also why we'll hear more about it. We'll find out more. I was heartbroken by this news. I hate it.
You couldn't even legally drink in this country. Not even 21 years old.
I hate
That's
that story.
crazy.
I hate that story. Anyway, thoughts, prayers, blessings, everything. Nothing but love to his family and everyone who had worked with him. I just or knew him. Horrible, absolutely horrible. Moving on though, I do want to talk about. You guys talked about Stranger Things.
No,
a little bit, not
really.
All right. Well, one of the things, and there's no spoilers here yet, guys. Yeah. So one of the things that I saw this morning, and I want to see where you guys stand on this. There's a big kind of petition that people are pissed off. Do you see this about the Stranger Things?
Shocker.
A petition?
Another one
On the internet?
Yeah, but this time because they said that it's advocated because both Billy and Hopper are smoking up a storm.
Oh, no, I did see this.
I did see,
this.
And they're saying Netflix is advocating smoking and encouraging smoking
It was
to.
because of Kimmy Schmidt, Orange is the New Black, and Stranger Things.
Oh, because they're all smoking up a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the argument that
What do you want him to vape, Juul? What do you want?
No, they don't
It's
want.
a
They don't
whole.
want to show
It's
it.
not just
So
a petition. It's a whole advocacy group.
It's a thing,
Yeah.
because Netflix is saying they're going to be better about it. Because I think of Alan Horn, right, who was he used to run Warner Brothers, now he's over at Disney, and he was a huge advocate of cutting out smoking everywhere. Anything that he's produced, you're not going to see smoking. The only thing that I say when like Orange is the New Black and those types of shows,
Shown in prison.
but I think agreed, and same thing like Oz and stuff too. I think that you could get away with not showing it, and the stuff with the 80s, people were smoking in restaurants, but it's the same thing. People smoking in prison, and I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn because like part of me like. If there's a 12-year-old kid who sees it and sees Hopper and thinks Hopper's the greatest character, might start smoking. Smoking to me is the most disgusting habit I think that is out there. But
Cool. No more guns in movies then.
Yeah, but this is what I think is wild because in the same show that
Yeah,
we're talking
I know.
about, and I won't say who, we see somebody get absolutely obliterated and drive.
I know. That's why I don't have a strong stance on
No,
this.
I
I'm
know.
just saying my opinion.
I just
on
read
it.
this and it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why is that the fight we're fighting?
Right.
Like,
Because that's a fight they think they can win.
But it doesn't make
they're winning
sense.
it.
It doesn't make
that's what I'm
sense.
saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that anybody who's like the cool kid in school should be smoking a cigarette because if it's not realistic, it's not realistic. But for Hopper's character to be smoking cigarettes, yeah, probably.
Totally.
He was also slamming Schlitz like crazy. So
Right.
why aren't we having that conversation? So it's like, both things can be bad for you. It's just a matter of, I think they're just finding that smoking they could do something with because they've had success with it.
Yeah, I think it's more about encouragement with children. Yeah.
I mean, I get the encouragement. I get it. But, like, here's the thing for me with smoking. And do I smoke? Sometimes. And I hate that I do it, but I enjoy it sometimes. Okay? You can't. There are iconic characters smoking cigarettes. I think that it is a cool character thing to have. Is that necessary? No. I'm with you on that one. But, like,
It's
John
part-
McClane smoking the European cigarette in Die Hard,
It's part
awesome.
of the personality,
Yeah.
and it's also real life. But it's
De Niro? doing
it's a tricky thing.
Yeah, you found a little bit.
But I do want
I
to
don't
show.
know I don't know about cool, but it's a character trait.
Yeah, it's a character
It is
trait.
all character trait.
Yeah.
Just like drinking is, just like driving an interesting car is, just like having a twitch or a what, like, they're different character traits.
Or just give it all to the villains and say, look, that's a bad guy. Bad guy's
Yeah. I also think, too, is like, listen, if we keep telling people things don't exist,
Or not to do something.
Or not to do
Yeah.
They're gonna do it more.
We're going to do it more.
Yep.
But
American nature.
Can you bring up the Facebook group though too? And I don't have to see this video's up there. And I saw this video that somebody posted, and then I showed it to my wife, not knowing how she was going to react to it, and she lost her mind laughing. And I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I'll talk about it more once I see the actual video. But it is.
Does it have an animal in it?
Yes. Did you see it?
No, I just know that you like things with animals.
Well, yeah, but it's good guess. You know me well.
Solid guess.
But this is really it's crazy. And I'm waiting for them to bring it up. It's the Claire Live official group, and just scroll down, and I'll tell you where it is.
I really like this Facebook group. By the
It's
way.
good. I mean, there's over I think almost 20,000. We can talk about that Mulan trailer too. There it is. That's the what's that? I keep going. You'll see the video itself. No. Keep going.
I have a
keep
hard
going.
time finding things.
one?
Yeah, as they scroll down,
There was a kid there with a dog. I saw it.
no, it's not. Keep talking, guys, and then I'll look. Where the hell is it? Maybe bring up the actual media itself.
I would keep talking, but you're still talking about
Where is it?
scrolling. There it is.
It's a solid point, Rock. That's a pretty.
You want me to bring up like a totally different point of topic? You know, so got really drunk.
Dude, I
bar
got
hopped,
a
ate
pretty
3
funny.
burgers.
I've got a pretty funny story.
salad.
Maybe scroll down.
Don't start it.
Try to scroll
I
down.
wouldn't.
Not
So, I was about
on the
scrolling
videos themselves.
down.
Just go back to the actual post.
You guys talk now, though. Whose turn is it? Good. Good. Scroll.
Are you saying scroll?
The scrolls.
Is it Captain Marvel?
Shape shifting.
I guess so.
Crease.
Doppelganger.
Wait, you should be doing the
Doppelganger.
left, right, sunflower, rainbow room.
What's that?
Christian, I don't think it's
really-
happening.
There it is.
Oh, here it
Cool,
is.
perfect.
Spoilers review.
All right.
Okay.
So
Best minute of radio.
Oh no!
you guys can't improv. That's on you. Go back.
What?
Go back. Go to the beginning. You could have talked about anything instead of you said scroll.
You kept talking though.
But I stopped because you asked me to stop. So here we go. So here's the video.
I
Listen.
don't feel
Listen.
like that's what happened.
Okay.
Oh!
What is that?
Dead squirrel. Look at Claire. Claire's going to wind up in a horror movie. Go back to the beginning of it, though.
Wow.
Listen to the mother in the background. Listen.
Is that the mom?
That is. Claire is amazing. Claire is going to be in the next Conjuring movie. Look at Macuga. See? Worth the scroll.
I like
worth the scroll.
I
like that
I like that one because
That is
Claire
funny.
gives no fucks.
Claire gives no fucks at all.
What do you want me to do with the squirrel?
This is mine.
Yeah.
This is I
Yeah.
finders
Look
keepers.
at Claire's face when she walked. Claire, like first one goes, "This is mine, motherfuckers." So
I thought it was a lizard she
No.
was on. It's
What
a
would you
squirrel.
do?
I would probably grab it out of her hand.
And then wash her hands
yeah,
thoroughly.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
But if you go like watch, but afterwards,
That
keep
makes me
push
so
play one more
happy.
time,
I can't
guys.
believe she-
Yeah. So look, she's like, what is people freaking out?
Why
about?
do you think that's her mom?
Because I don't know if a
Yeah.
kid can
It
yell
sounds
like
like
that.
a kid.
Oh, that might be a
It might be a
kid.
kid.
I
Maybe
think
it
it's
is. I don't know. Either
Claire
way.
is now attacking the kids with a
I
dead
hope
Dead
so.
squirrel.
Holy moly.
I thought it was a skunk at first.
No, it is definitely a
I thought it
big
was a lizard.
dead squirrel. I mean, that is a huge squirrel too, man.
All right, I got a good story for you,
Yeah,
real quick.
let's hear
So I was back
Scroll.
in Pittsburgh for 4th of July, hung out with a bunch of family members and all
I'm
that kind of
listening
stuff.
to.
So we went to a wedding, and it was at this place out near where my dad is from. And the guy that owns it, he played football at Miami in the '60s, and he played pro baseball and stuff like that. So the owner of the bar is telling us the story before the wedding started. My brother and I were sitting there having a martini, and I was like, "What position did he play?" And the girl's like, "I don't know what position he played." Hey, Eleanor, what position you played? That's his wife. She'll know. She goes, "Fuck if I know." And she's like, I was like, "How long have you been married for?" She's like, 40 years. I was like, "Oh, that's healthy marriage." That's good.
She doesn't give a shit about football. She just
No,
wants to see.
no.
Yeah.
My brother and I look at each other like, "I think we should sign the check." I'm like, "Yeah, I think it's time for reception. Yeah, I think we're good."
What else did we see? We hit. Oh,
We get the Mulan trailer. Do you want to talk about anything?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know.
That's on my notes. So
What's going on?
I appreciate you.
Mulan.
No, what's just going on?
The notes.
Oh, that's what
I
you
didn't. I didn't write.
Oh.
So I wrote my notes on my phone.
your-
Oh, let's
on
see if
your
I can read
notes.
that.
On your notes app.
How do you circle things once you?
Mars.
No.
Didn't get it.
Before we can do the.
Can you scroll a little bit?
Scroll down.
Scroll.
Yeah, we're done. After
Scroll.
we hit the movie news at 11. Because
Okay,
there's
fair
not
enough.
time to do this now. But
Scroll.
the
I'm
other
a
thing I
new-
wanted to
I'm a
ask
new
you though
producer. Yep.
is that WWE.
Yeah.
They're going back to a.
Smoking.
Was they're going to start smoking? But they're going back to like
Now
they're
you got me interested.
They're getting rid of the PG rating.
Yeah.
At least for Raw, anyway, right? Because back in the day, like during even the times you were aware of it, the Attitude Era had, like you said, the suck it and all that stuff too. They're going back to that. Good move.
I think it's an interesting move, and we'll see how it plays out. They're trying to compete with AEW because AEW now has this attention behind it, and AEW has no limits, no restraints on it. So they're going to have fun taking that ECW spot that used to be there when Heyman was in charge of it, not when WWE took over. So they're going to counter with it. But I also think Fox, they know they want SmackDown to be Fox ready, which is primetime ready, not having that stuff.
Right.
So they know they need to placate their fans who want to see a little more harder edge. So you make Raw harder edge. They're not doing the whole 3-hour show harder. They're doing the last hour of the 3-hour show.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Closer to an R-rated time. There's no nudity or cussing, but it'll have harder edge, like middle fingers and
It's kind
blood.
of it goes
things of
back
that
to what
nature.
they did in the late '90s,
Yeah,
to where
so-
you tuned in for the last hour, or
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
You tuned in for the last because you knew shit was going to go
They're
down.
trying to check all the boxes for all the interests of their fans.
Well, they want teenagers. They want
Yeah, they
teenagers
do.
again because they were losing teenagers.
Don't be
So-
surprised if the bra and panties matches come back. Don't be surprised.
I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they can
We'll
get away.
see.
I don't think they can get away with that these days.
I think that would be stupid.
Pretty
Sure,
stupid.
but we'll see.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What is the WWE's demographic? What is their like besides obviously male?
it's a good question.
Switches up. It switches up a lot. I mean, and I don't think it's. I mean, it's obviously male dominated, but I don't think it's as strong as you think. There are a lot of female wrestling fans.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like age wise,
Yeah.
like where because I mean, baseball keeps aging up. You
Right.
know, the average
Right,
age of the
right.
baseball fan that watches television like 57 years old. It's not.
And Cody.
Clearly.
Was that a real number that you
I mean,
just
it's
showed?
55. It's in the mid 50s, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the exact fact, but I know that the exact number, but I know it's in the 50s. I mean,
Yeah,
and
Pablo definitely brings that number up.
Oh yeah. I mean, my dad still watches Pirates games on TV, and I will say, speaking of Cody, congratulations to Cody Decker, who just retired from,
Yeah.
from
Yes,
baseball.
absolutely.
did?
Yeah. So
Wow.
before,
By
because
hitting a home run.
he hit a home run, and he posted something this morning actually too. By the way, like he got honored by, and they called him the real Crash Davis.
Yeah.
but it was the wrong pitcher that ESPN put.
Of course.
And Cody laughed about it, and he said that he put it out. It was kind of fitting.
Yeah.
But he had a home run to walk out. What a great way to retire.
Yeah, walk-off dinger.
So Macuga's right. The average age of those who watch nationally televised Major League Baseball rose from 52 years old in 2000 to 57 in 2016.
And
the
that-
average age of National Basketball Association viewers is around 42.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WWE, it's 54.
Wow.
The average age of the viewer is 54, even though they aim for the 18 to 34 demographic.
I would never have
Wow,
guessed that.
me either.
And
Well, because
that
see-
means they're not quite doing it right, I think.
Well,
Unless they, or they're keeping all their old school fans that they got from back in the day. Because if you look at, I mean, the
But those
54,
people are
they were 30 or something when they.
right, but you got to get new fans, otherwise you
In-
will end up
Absolutely.
with no
in the
fans.
year 2000,
Absolutely.
the median age was 28. In 2006, it was 33. In 2016, it is 54.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
Do you think it's because I mean I always think you know
Wow.
my dad watched Steeler football, he watched Penguin hockey, he
Wait.
watched Pirates baseball, so that's what I watch.
Yeah.
If you watch wrestling, your son's going to watch wrestling. Did your dad watch wrestling?
Yeah, he did watch. He watched it with me in the 80s
Okay.
too, because he liked Hogan and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
When we watched it, he would get into some of it too, and like Ric Flair. But he it wasn't like he was the fan and got us. We were the fans and he got him.
Got
Don't
it,
you think
yeah,
that
okay.
maybe that's
Same.
because of the subscription service that you have to be older to sign up, so kids are still watching, but the average age is
They're just
based
using their
off
dad's
of,
account
Not
or
a bad
something?
call.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but maybe.
I don't think
That's
I
possible.
don't think that's a crazy call at all because
Yeah.
maybe they take that data from the account of people who
yeah.
sign up with credit cards. It's like, Dad, I want to get this account, and then or Mom, I want to get this account, and it's like they're in their
Well,
40s, 50s.
another thing to think about too is they Raw and SmackDown are on cable channels. They're about to go to Fox,
right.
which is one of the top 4 networks. So once SmackDown goes to Fox, that may affect their
Fox Sports or
viewership.
Fox?
Fox.
Whoa.
Yeah, Fox.
Whoa.
It will be, and they've had deals with NBC before. Remember Saturday Night's Main Event? They used to have shows there, so they're trying to do the same thing here with Fox. Now, before obviously they've been USA, TNT, any number of things, but now they're trying to do something.
They got to change their shit up though. They're gonna be on Fox. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's what SmackDown's going to be. That's why they did that whole wild card bullshit that I've thrown away. Is that stars will now jump brand to brand? It doesn't matter.
Isn't AEW going to TNT now?
Yes.
AEW is. That's
crazy,
the move.
yeah.
This is going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
And it starts in
There's a lot
November,
of
right?
wrestlers.
What a November we're going to have in general. You got Disney Plus is going to debut. You've got this AEW, you got WWE. You got all these movies coming out. It's going to be pretty crazy.
When is Apple doing their thing?
That's a good question. I don't know.
This year? Right?
I don't know. I would imagine.
They're bringing it up right now.
I don't think an announcement has been made as to when it launches. We talked about it on TV Talk, didn't we, Rox?
Well, they announced a couple of different shows,
But I don't think we have a launch
Doesn't
date
say.
for the actual streaming service.
Yeah, it doesn't have. There doesn't seem to be. If you guys find it, just highlight it. But it doesn't look like there is one right now. Let's see if there's anything else that we need to hit before we go to take a small break here. The box office. We can hit that before we get into
do that?
Let's do box office real quick because I saw some people saying, "Oh, Spider-Man bombed." Because it only made 96 for the 3-day weekend, but it already made
change.
But it already made 160.
$85 million for its first week in the theaters.
Bombed.
First week. It's
pretty incredible.
Right.
Bomb.
It's made almost 500. So what do we have? 185. And then what does it make worldwide already, guys?
Yeah, 185
total gross.
No,
money.
worldwide, it's made 580 million already. That's crazy. That's crazy. 580 million just came out last week. Yeah, man.
I got to go see that this week or next. I guess I haven't gotten around to it.
I think you'll
You
like
got to
it.
get around to it.
Yeah. And then people were talking about obviously the Avengers catching up to Aladdin. Like, it's only 16 million.
Yeah.
It's a big number right now for them. That's a huge number. I don't think they're going to do it.
I was on a flight yesterday and I finally watched Mustang, the one that we had Sean Arts in it.
People love that movie.
Dude, that
It
movie
was so good. I told you.
First of all, the movie is great.
Yeah.
Second of all, if you are like a little bit down and you were coming home from like a vacation and it's a Sunday, don't watch Mustang.
Yeah.
I was like,
Also-
I got off the plane. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad I watched it before everything about Jason Mitchell came out.
Yeah,
It's
right?
just-
Oh, right, because
Yeah.
Jason
Always in
Mitchell
the
in
movie?
it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
He's a massive role in it.
yeah. That's
The movie's great, though.
The movie is
excellent.
really well done. I also watched that documentary about Theranos with it's on HBO. The documentary that was on the plane too. We had a lot of plane travel.
The Woman?
Yes.
Yes, that's an awesome documentary.
What?
So
The woman?
Yeah, because the Theranos throws me off. I don't know if he's talking.
Theranos is the name of the company that she
Right.
started, and she lied to everybody and told her that you could get the same amount of results that you were getting from all these blood being drawn as one drop of blood. She fooled everybody. CVS invested like $850 million into her company. She fooled everybody. She also changed her voice.
Yeah. She wants to sound like Steve Jobs, so she started wearing black turtlenecks and lowered the octave of her voice. So she
HBO
would
did
talk
this documentary.
slowly.
Amanda listened to the podcast. There's a whole podcast about it.
Oh, I gotta listen to
and
that.
you know the people that she fooled into believing that this was real, and then the people that called her out on it, and still she won't ever admit to anything.
So she's not going to jail? Yet?
Not yet. I mean, she still has to go to trial.
There's court cases. Yeah, there's trials. Her
But
and her lover.
She also does not blink.
Yeah.
It's like scary.
Her and her lover, what?
They were
They're both
Her girlfriend was in on it?
No, the boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah.
They were both in on it together. Like, I mean, legitimately, she faked all this data and was like, "Hey, we have this technology now," and they were going to put Theranos docs into CVS, and you put your finger, they were going to prick it, and it was going to tell you everything that you had.
And it was bullshit.
Bullshit.
They tried to do a pilot program of it, and the results were so wrong.
Yes.
Consistently,
But
and they tried to bury the results.
But who's like? It's just almost like obviously she should go to court and everything too. But it's almost like that Obi-Wan line. Who's the fool? You know,
Right.
The fool.
Right.
Right. The fool falls on.
The pharmaceutical companies do that shit all the time, though.
But it's like yeah, we got this thing. You want to do research on it? Nah, just give me the money.
Cool concept if it worked, though.
Yeah,
that's,
of course.
that's where the investment.
That's what they were hoping.
I
Did
mean,
you guys
that's also
know-
cool if I invented a way to, like
Fly.
make sure that poop disappeared, like that Jack Black movie. It's a funny idea, but it can never happen.
I read this the other
Good for
day.
you. Good for you.
Billy, Fire Festival guy,
Yeah, Billy McFarlane.
yeah.
became good friends with Mike the Situation in prison.
In prison.
Did you guys read
Yeah.
this?
The
Sounds
dude from
about right.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it's
Just
great.
makes me so happy. Like this chick should go in with them.
Totally.
And
They're
should
gonna
all
have their
just,
own reality
kick
show
it.
when they get out, by the way.
I love the fact that this has become like a whole fire festival thing. Even to the fact where my mom is like, we were setting up for the 4th of July and we were way behind. My mom was like, "This is gonna be a fire Fire Festival if we don't pick it up. And I was like, Mom even referencing Fire Festival. It's great.
And that's the power of Netflix.
I know,
right?
right?
We watch it.
And
Totally.
Hulu.
And Hulu. Okay, look, we're going to go to break. When we get back, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Like we said, Mulan trailer came out, and the Maleficent trailer did. I didn't see that yet. I'm going to watch that during the break. So
Cool.
when we get back, we'll hit all these things. Great.
Hey guys, Riley here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Rocha here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemiroff here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Rocha and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we focus on the two biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Rocha, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh Macuga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT live every single day of the week, right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Rocha here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh Macuga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Riley here. Let me tell you about the Riley Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Rocha, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Riley Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Kristian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it, but if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real. We didn't get down to business. I'm talking about the birthing salad during the break. Is that okay? Is that okay to say?
What song is that?
That's from Mulan, bro.
Well, you know, 'cause we've been going.
That's what you were saying. You haven't seen it yet.
Never seen it.
We've been going on the this whole thing. You know, Roxy's a doula. And
What?
You didn't hear this?
birthing
Were you
doula.
on the show?
I wasn't on the
Friday?
show for this. I would remember this.
It's a thing, but it's not a real doula.
You help people have their babies?
No. We'll talk about it after. So we've
It's
gone
like
over
Fiddler
this.
on the Roof and shit.
She's basically a therapist to her friend, her male friend. Not she has nothing to do
A
with
male friend. It's just a girl, a person to hang out with them.
But
Stop it.
It's confusing. Don't worry about it. So,
Stop it.
Sounds confusing.
So anyway, Roxy
It's not
said that
confusing.
the wife has not had the baby yet. It's for 4 days, and I said you got to give it the salad. She's like
4 days over.
Yeah, she's like,
over
what
the-
salad?
Has she been in labor for 4 days?
No.
They
they're past the due
date.
date.
Yeah, her due date was the 3rd,
Yeah.
and but she's so uncomfortable.
And that's what happened on our side.
Who
So
told you to get pregnant?
I said get the salad, and there's a salad that this pizza place in the valley.
What?
They wrote articles about it, and it was all
It's
over
called
the place.
Maternity Greens Chowd.
Whatever it is, how to eat the fucking
Chayote.
thing. And
Pizza cafes, labor
it's in the valley. I
inducing
forget
salad.
where it is, but we drove to the valley and got
Just
it.
said the name
And
Chayotes.
and I would tell you to at least at this point you try everything.
Did it help?
Yeah.
I say yes. My wife says no,
Because
but
they
I
say you're
say
supposed to
yes.
have sex, right? That's the thing that's supposed to induce, really help.
We didn't do that.
But it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I've been reading
Maybe
up.
it's just like
I'm a
trying
birthing
to-
doula, so
you're
I've
just
been
trying
reading
to
up.
poke-
Yeah,
get the hell out of
literally,
it.
this, pretty much.
I'm out.
You know, it's good.
I'm out.
Right. It's like you don't.
Wow.
Yeah. You're not the only one
This
that
is
lives
so
there.
interesting. It's in Studio City, and it's a
Yeah,
salad
that's
that's
right,
rumored
exactly.
to induce labors.
Just bring it over. See, be a good doula.
Yeah, duel it up.
And
I will.
go over there and see if it works.
Jimmy Doolin.
Oh,
You know
if
what's
they're
funny?
on Postmates, I'll send it to them right now.
You know what's funny?
You should.
Theranos suggested that salad, so
Yeah.
it must work.
She invented
created
the
the
salad.
salad.
It's served lunch and dinner Monday
Yeah.
through Sunday.
Well, Theranos did not create Mulan. It was a very popular Disney movie back in I think '94 is when it came out. I might be wrong.
Popular with 3 of us in the room.
Yeah.
3 of us. Macuga never saw it.
Once I went Little
What
Mermaid
year was
about
Mulan?
it. Oh, that's fair.
96,
Mulan
98.
Mulan is the actual greatest story, though. Of all of the Disney stories, Mulan. I love Lion King and I love Aladdin, but Mulan is the most incredible journey. Oh,
Yeah, I've
that's-
never gone to see the only Disney animated movie I've ever gone to see in the theaters outside of screenings of what we do is Little Mermaid, and I was in the 2nd grade, and then after that, they just never interested in me because mostly Disney animated reminds me of my cousins, and they had every single tape in those big white boxes, the VHS tapes, and I was like, oh, I have to watch another one of these stupid effing movies. Just play Indiana Jones.
But now you watch them because you're going to watch a lot of them. Trust
No,
me,
this
the next couple of
story
years.
is so good, Josh. It's different, and there's action.
I watched the trailer for the new
This
one.
and you
trailer.
loved it.
It looks like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Sign me up. It's like
That's
Last
Yeah,
Samurai.
cool.
It's cool, and it doesn't have Eddie Murphy's
Nope.
dragon in this.
I don't need it. No songs and no dragon. Don't need it.
This to me is
Don't say
a
that.
very different way.
Good. I like the trailer.
But this is a different way for them to make additions to what was already there.
Right.
As opposed to again, we're going to talk about Maleficent in a little bit. Don't like what they did with Maleficent. Don't like what they did with Dumbo. Don't like what they did with Alice in Wonderland. This to me looks very different because it's still taking off of what made Mulan very special, staying to the core, but expanding it inside of the actual story itself. They're not making a sequel like they did with Dumbo. They're not making a sequel. They're making additions. This particular movie is not going to be based in that kind of fantasy realm with the dragons, so they're not using that. And I like that. I think it's a good choice. I love this trailer. I thought this trailer was great, and I think it is a good spin on the original movie. So, did anybody not like the trailer?
No, I saw a couple eyebrow raises online, but I don't know what that's about.
No music, maybe?
Yeah, people were complaining about not having the music.
Oh, now Mulan's talking to me, baby.
and not having Eddie Murphy coming back to have the dragon to talk to her. But I think it's a more I think our tastes have changed.
But when you're saying no music, you're saying in the trailer.
Yeah, but I don't think there's going to be any. They're saying they're not going to be any songs.
It's not a musical.
Yeah.
They're not doing like they did Aladdin.
They're doing 0 songs? That is not what I heard.
Let's do a research.
And,
they're looking at it right now. So
Okay.
That.
But I
Do they
heard
have
from
that?
Alex is Lin-Manuel Miranda is part of this. That's what I heard from Alex.
is this part of the music or
You son of a bitch! You
what?
heard me.
No, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
No, I was talking to Alex.
Alex, can you circle it? Is this the article?
No. This is the Collider
Oh, this
article.
is the Collider
Can we
article.
just
Okay.
Google, is there going to be any songs in Mulan?
Yeah, I'd like to see if that's the case. Mulan songs we worked.
It'll be instrumental.
Oh, okay. Okay, instrumental music.
Just be a score
Okay. So
during battle scenes. I'm
that's
guessing.
interesting.
Is that
how
what
they're
that just
doing that.
said? It said how it will be reworked into it.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
That girl can wield a sword, though. She's got some moves.
Well, I
with
mean,
that
you
sword.
see instrumental on the tag.
Yeah, the first trailer for Disney's live-action remake of Mulan reveals how the non-musical movie will incorporate iconic songs. When it releases in 2020, Mulan will be Disney's 16th live-action remake of one of their beloved animated properties. All of this goes down to 13 if you don't count the films made before 2010's Alice in Wonderland, widely considered to be the movie that kickstarted the current trend. Now, director Nico Caro has been tasked with translating the animated film to the big screen with a majority of Asian cast and a budget that reportedly makes it the most expensive of Disney's remakes. Fans obviously have high expectations for this nostalgic favorite, but the final product may be very different from what they're expecting. So, what does it say? Much has already been made about how much this remake will deviate from the original story. Various characters have been cut out or swapped out for similar figures, including Mulan's love interest, Shang. Mushu the dragon won't appear. We know that a phoenix will be in the film serving a similar role. And
Shang's not going to be in it at all?
that's what it says. It's a similar role. And then the final product
Interesting.
will not be a musical. The latter point has been the topic of much debate, with rumors swirling over the veracity of this claim. It has been previously reported that the cast will not sing the songs from the original, but that they will be presented as instrumental versions. John said we got the first glimpse of this in the teaser trailer, where you can hear
I
slow
think
down.
instrumental still is, as long as it's the instrumental.
You'll still feel
yeah,
the, you'll
yeah.
still feel it.
Totally. And that's the way to do it in a version like this.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, just give me some sick score with some battle scenes and a girl that can shoot bow and arrow like a badass and chop up stuff with a sword. Give it to me.
That did get me kind of confused about the trailer. And honestly, I don't know if I want to say this because of spoilers
I don't
for
care.
Josh. Okay.
I think I've had my time to see Mulan, and if I haven't seen it yet, you can spoil it. Go ahead.
She's fighting battle majorly as Mulan. Like, I'm a woman
Yeah.
Mulan.
Yeah, in the trailer. you
In the
mean.
trailer, yeah.
That's that occurred to me too, because in the movie she has her hair done up so she looks like a man.
That's the whole point. She's in
but
hiding.
this looks like they're just owning that she's a woman.
Remember, she's not allowed to be a woman.
Right, in this society.
So if that's the part of the movie that I really connected to, and if they get rid of that, it's not Mulan.
It might be the end. That might be the end of maybe the
It
final
might-
battle.
Good point.
It might be, but what a weird way to only market the movie with that then.
Maybe to show that she's going to be fighting as a woman, like, in full.
I guess.
I also think it's a pushback to what people have been saying about The Lion King. Like, oh, they're just taking the animated images and making them live action.
Right.
There's nothing new here.
But
and
that's
that's been
what-
a big complaint about it. So I don't know.
That's what got me concerned about what Kristian's saying, though, because I start to think, if they're not taking the animated and making it live action and they're changing the story, that's part of the story you cannot cut. You cannot cut the part that she is not allowed
It's
to
like a
join
Joan
the
of Arc
army.
story, right?
Yeah,
Joan of Arc kind of a
Because
thing.
then it is literally no longer Mulan, and you were just
Yeah.
taking the
I
name.
don't think they will.
Yeah.
Because it looked like in one of the shots, it looked like she was still dressed up as a boy, I believe, in one of the
And
shots.
does she get exposed in Mulan as a woman near the end? Like, she'd switch and just be like, nah, it doesn't matter who I am. I'll cut your bitches.
Balls off.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
kinda.
I mean, I could. Yeah.
But that's the whole point. Like, she has to bring honor to her family by fighting to protect somebody from having to go to war because they are not well, essentially.
I mean, you can tell me what the movie is. You don't have to like hide it from me. They're like, so the Demogorgon is actually Alex Trebek. Like, you can go ahead.
You think so?
Yeah, definitely. What happens? So the grandmother's sick, or the father's sick, or the brother's sick, or somebody's sick, and she has to go fight for the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm pretty good at
But
narrating other movies.
You got
But
it, Josh. You nailed it.
she takes the armor. They don't know she's going. She
yeah.
goes, and it's revealed that
It's a
she's
female
woman.
empowerment story.
Yeah,
That's
but
great.
and
Good.
then she's the biggest badass of them all. But like as she's going through training camp, she can't do jack crap, and so she has to work 10 times harder because, like, you're doing things like climbing a pole. Right. Obviously, women don't have as much upper body strength naturally, so she has to work 10 times as hard and all of that stuff. And
then Donny Osmond comes in and sings "I'll Make a Man Out of You" as the character. That trains her to be a
the
warrior.
music will actually. The music will actually play that probably in the background.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So the other thing is
like
that keeping in this Disney thing here, Maleficent, the new trailer came out, Mistress of Evil. I've been very vocal in the fact that I did not like the first movie, despite the fact how much money it made, because of the examples that I just gave. Maleficent was one of my favorite villains in Disney history, and I loved the idea to find out how she became this evil person. And then inside of that movie, it was like, that's why. Oh my God! What a brilliant way to describe it. And then she's not bad. She's a good guy.
Yeah.
And everyone else was bad. The king was bad. Sure. Everyone was bad. So this is the same thing, by the way. They're teasing you and making you think that she goes crazy and she's going to become evil again. But then they show you through this trailer that even with one look, Michelle Pfeiffer is the bad one now, and now Maleficent once again is not this evil villain that you thought she was going to be. It's just continuing this thing that I don't know what this is.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I like Michelle Pfeiffer.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I like Michelle Pfeiffer.
She'll be the bad guy again.
Yeah.
Was she the bad guy in the first one?
No, but it's just it's so predictable.
Who was the bad guy in the first one? Stanley Tucci.
It was the king. It was the king.
Yeah, it wasn't Stanley Tucci. But
It was Stanley Tucci.
It was the king. It
How'd
was
you
what's his
know?
face? Charlton Copley.
Charlton Copley. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is the South African Stanley Tucci. This,
Probably he's probably going to be in Neil Blomkamp's next movie. I'll tell you that.
Dictators always think everyone else is wrong and they're right. So this seems like told from her point of view, like she's the dictator and everyone else is wrong and she's right. I don't like it.
That's what the trailers.
That's what I'm saying.
But she's not going to be. She's not going to be evil. She's going to turn out being. It's going to be Michelle Pfeiffer who is the evil one.
Right.
And
Give it to me.
Yeah, I do. You like the first one, though, right?
Yeah, love.
See.
Yeah, I think you could predict the Disney movies pretty well. Like, I'd love to see how close you are in the predictions.
To this? I mean, the
That's
trailer.
what I want. It literally
The
is that.
trailer paints it out
The
for
only
you.
one that I don't love so far, literally the only one that I'm just like, meh.
Dumbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dumbo was.
Oh, and do we count Mary Poppins?
Return.
No, it wasn't. But
Because
that's
it's
not
a
a remake.
sequel. Yeah,
It was-
okay. Just I'm thinking Disney movies recently.
Yeah,
Well, the second Alice in Wonderland was terrible. So
Yeah,
Alice Through the Looking Glass.
I didn't struggle with Alice in Wonderland like I did with Dumbo.
what about the second?
agreed.
I didn't struggle with it like I did
There's
with
two
Dumbo.
Dumbos?
No.
No.
The second Alice in Wonderland.
Sorry.
I didn't mind the first Alice in Wonderland because
I don't even remember it very well.
I saw it in 3D. It was the only 3D converted movie that I actually liked. But it was fine. I wanted to see Alice in Wonderland is actually my favorite Disney animated movie. I think I'm the only person who ever says that. But and I thought I would.
It's your number one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why?
Why?
It's a lot of emotional stuff and nostalgic stuff too. My friend Brian Cascia, who I have talked about, who passed at 9/11, he's one of my biggest creative influences growing up as a kid. And that movie, for some reason, because of the silly nonsense and the stuff that happens in that movie, we watched it over and over and over again, and we used to take clips of it, and we used to call. And I'll never forget it. It was this. We used to make prank calls as kids, and we randomly hit this number up. And I'm not going to say it out loud because I think it actually still exists. And we started leaving all these numbers of all these messages from the movie, from Alice in Wonderland, and clips from it, and we started doing our own Alice in Wonderland from it. We knew all the characters back and forth. And one day we were driving with my dad in the car. Let's just say the number was 718-555-2121, and so we're driving by. And we see on the 718-555-2121. We just found it. We discovered it after doing this historical phone calls and putting in the Alice in Wonderland sound clips. And I loved it so much. We the back and forth. Just watched it so many times. So
And it was just the part that spoke to you was how strange it was.
yeah, I loved the kind of this. It was
Avant-garde,
bizarre. It was
straight-
crazy.
yeah.
It was not. There was nonsense to it. It was.
I mean, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. It's just not one of the most pull at your heartstrings one.
I know now why you like weed. Alice in Wonderland was your inspiration.
Easily. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like a little acid trip for sure.
Who are you? I love that movie.
I could never get through Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
To this
I know.
day, I've never watched it. Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, and that's my Matrix.
Yeah, but
Which pillar are you gonna
the
take?
point was, when I was waiting, I thought when Tim Burton when they announced him to do it, I actually for the first time I got excited. I was like, wait a minute, because if he does it,
Yeah, he's perfect for it.
he would have been. But he's done the same thing twice with both his Disney ones. They pretend they're doing like a remake or a reimagining of it, and he just makes sequels.
Do you think they'll do it again?
Tim Burton?
No. Alice in
Wonderland? Nah, because it's not. Because I really think that I'm like one of the rare few people that would really want that movie. Like, nobody would care about that movie.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
Oh, I mean, I think that movie is genius.
I love it. I mean, I wanted to see the actual story of Alice finding it, going tall, big, Bill the lizard, like all that shit.
They tried to do the TV show as well. Did you watch that?
Once Upon a Time?
They did a spin-off of Once Upon a Time
for
Alice specifically.
Oh, wait. That was that terrible one with Vincent D'Onofrio,
Yes.
right? Oh, my God, that was bad.
I did not watch it.
Oh, no, wait, that was The Wizard of
It wasn't with
Oz.
Vincent. It wasn't
The
with Vincent
Wizard of Oz
D'Onofrio,
one
but
was the Vincent D'Onofrio
But it
one.
was terrible. And it was with, maybe you guys
I
can help me.
remember that one.
That was, I think it was called O or something.
Yeah, where they're like going in the past
No,
and the present, all
Guys,
constantly.
maybe
I
you
remember
could
that
help.
one.
But Del Toro was the one.
Zoe
No.
Deschanel was the lead in that one. Yeah.
Yeah, Del Toro was the one that I would have liked to seen done a remake. Once Upon a Time in Wonderland.
That's what it was, and it lasted either 1 or 2 seasons. And it was. I watched one episode. It was really rough. It was really rough. 13 episodes. Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know how we went down that rabbit hole.
Oh, the old tooch.
The old tooch.
Throwing it in there.
But how we did get? How do we get down there?
John
I don't
lived
remember.
talking about
out
Alice in
the
Wonderland.
rabbit.
Yeah,
Who's
no,
Sophie
but
Lowe?
how do we get there?
What?
Who's Sophie Lowe? I don't know Sophie Lowe.
don't know.
You wouldn't. She.
Okay.
But
you
anyway,
look right there, you wouldn't know her.
Maleficent is the trailer itself. Did
quite
you like the
Maleficent.
trailer?
No. I'm not a fan of these revisitings in this way. I didn't like that first movie either. I was just like, oh, like you. Great premise, great idea. Didn't like the execution, and I don't know. I just feel like, why is Angelina doing this? Like,
Well, she's made a lot of money, and she's producer on it. I understand why she's making it.
Jolie, man.
But
You don't
Jolie
think
is
she likes it?
As an Oscar-winning, like, go get those Oscars, girl. Like, this is.
She hasn't done an Oscar-worthy movie in a long
That's
time.
what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
so.
but she's paying her bills on that one,
Yeah,
and
no,
she's a
I'm not-
producer on
yeah.
it. And I saw her at D23 when she originally did this movie, and she talked about like just having this relationship, watching these kids and stuff. She is really enjoying the movie itself. I just don't like when movies sell false bills of goods, and they've done it. They did it with the first one, and they're doing it with this one now too. It's like it's fine if you're going to say what if the first trailer would have been from the first movie. What if Maleficent was the hero? Different movie, and then I'm on board. But don't tell me this is how she became who she was because it's not the same story. It's a different. You're. It's a false bill of goods.
You're giving me
To lie, Christian.
To lie.
origin of evil when it's an origin of nothing.
It's an origin of evil, but not her.
No.
it's
I'm
someone
fine
else.
being tricked. I love that. When there's a twist and you're like, oh, actually, this is what
But
it is. It's fine.
Do you
with
go
me.
back and revisit the animated movie and go, oh, this is all bullshit?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
See,
It's an illusion. 100%. Also, not a huge Angelina Jolie fan.
Yeah.
You're not.
No.
Fascinating.
Did you like Mr. and Mrs.
So I
Smith?
love her in things like this or that. Yes, I like
How about
her when
Wanted?
she just decides to be
Salt.
an action star.
Yeah.
I don't love. I don't think that she has the emotional depth in a lot of performances that I'm looking forward.
Did you ever see Girl Interrupted?
Yes, of
And
course.
you
It was
think
one of
she-
my favorite books too.
Do you think she had the depth in that
I
one?
thought she was fine.
What's the one where
Yeah.
she played the wife of the guy who was beheaded, the
Oh,
journalist?
Honey. Something in Land of Honey?
And
Honey's Jessica Alba.
I'm not saying that she doesn't have that inside her. I'm just saying I haven't seen it.
That's
She
fair.
has the curly hair in that movie.
Yeah,
In
she
the
does.
Land of Blood
It's
and
like
Honey.
In the
Mighty
Land of
Heart.
Blood and Honey.
Yeah. Honey's the Jessica Alba dance
Yeah,
movie.
you're right. You're right.
Good, easy to make
Good
that
movie as
confusion.
well.
Yeah.
Wanted? I loved
All
it.
right, Rocha, what's this Back to the Future 4 story? Tell me about this.
Wait, hold on.
No, what do you?
Okay, yeah, sorry. All right, I
What just
wanted to
happened?
get that. I just wanted
You
to
want
get
to stretch
that.
your back?
A Mighty Heart. That's what it's called. A Mighty Heart.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mighty
yeah,
Heart.
yeah. That's where the journalist was decapitated. All right, so Back to the Future. Christopher Lloyd. He was interviewed and talked about a fourth Back to the Future movie, what his thoughts on it are. And he's been interviewed about it a few times. And he talked about it a little bit more this time around. It was at, where was he at? He was at some
Comicbook.com.
convention, and he talked about it. And he thinks,
At Niagara Falls Comic Con last month.
I think Cody is changing things around on me. Here we go. It's a comicbook.com. He said, I think somehow it needs to kind of convey a message about something that's important to everyone, universally, like climate change, some way of incorporating whatever fever is going on at the moment into the film and keep the feeling of 1, 2, and 3. That's a tricky deal because you don't want to do another one and disappoint. So I don't know. I'd be happy to for myself, but we'll see. In the past, in 2015, they had all get together at a convention or something, and they all, like Michael J. Fox, Leah Thompson, and Christopher Lloyd, and Biff, Thomas F. Wilson, all said that they would totally come back and do another one and can make it possible. But Zemeckis has come out and said he doesn't want to do it, and then Gail Ann Hurd, I think, came out and said as well, and said they don't want to do a.
Do you think without Zemeckis you could not do this?
You can do it with Spielberg. Spielberg is a producer on it, so if Spielberg wanted to get it out there with a new filmmaker, he could. I don't know how much, but I don't know how much Zemeckis has ownership of it. That's the big question.
Why would you want to when 3 was so perfect?
No, I'm just saying I don't know. I mean, I don't know the legal deal of it. But
I got a Toy Story 4.
I didn't know if you meant more so like could it work creatively?
No, like literally, physically, could they do this without him?
I don't know. How, I mean, you would think maybe he's so adamant about it. Maybe he does have some ownership over it. Maybe Spielberg does. I don't know. But if they could, hypothetically, what I'd like to see them do it, I'd like to see them almost do it like a Force Awakens style, to where it's like because they talked about Michael J. Fox,
kid, yeah.
But they have everybody involved, have the Biff and everyone too, but make the story. If you want to transition it in, and if the next one's popular in the fourth one, because right away all Back to the Future purists, no, leave it alone, don't do it, not necessary. But I believe those same people, if they did it right, and there was a chance for this new kid to be able to do something with the DeLorean, and it could work out introducing new characters, they'd be okay with it.
Marty McFly Jr.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just feel like it's only a matter of time. We've touched all the other franchises.
Time.
Gonna go back in time.
They do instrumentals. They'll do that as an instrumental. No, but this is a great point. You bring a Force Awakens.
Finishing point.
No, that was the whole point. I just think that at this point we are. If it's not today, then it will be in a year, and if it's not in a year, it will be in 10. There's no way this franchise never gets touched again for the rest of time.
Or it'll be
no
in
way.
2085.
Possibly.
Full 100 years.
Possibly.
But I think
2055.
Gonna go
I'm
back
writing that up
in
for a
time.
Schmodown, because I always miss those Back to the Future questions. But listen,
You want to talk about the ultimate miss in Back to the Future? That you,
What was
did
it?
you hear it?
I don't remember.
he
this.
remembered.
I want to almost bring it up. The video. So it was
I
the
think I
triple.
know
It was the
but-
triple threat match. I think it was a 2-pointer. So
It was a 2-point.
It was John Rocco versus Dan Murrell versus Mark Riley for the Schmodown Championship.
No one remembers that match.
Yeah, everyone remembers it. And the question was, what is the name that Marty uses based off the underwear brand?
Oh, I remember this now. I remember.
yeah,
What did he say? He said Fruit of the
He said
Loom,
Fruit of
right?
the
Yeah,
Loom.
not Calvin Klein. Yeah.
And because when he got the question,
I was in the audience. I remember.
Dan
now.
and Riley, oh come on, like they put their hands up, like, oh my god.
I think your friends were in the audience, and they said they were scared of me because
You
of how
started
I
yelling at
reacted to it.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
because
freaked.
I freaked out.
I actually think he pulled the
Yeah,
sound
the clip.
of the.
It's
Shut
the-
the fuck up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's from that
That's
match.
from-
That's right after the.
Because they
That's
all
a rough
reacted
look.
as soon as he asked the question, and it threw me off. And I got
That
mad
sucks.
at the crowd.
Yeah.
And that was my fault.
No, hey, you're-
That was
Yeah.
my fault. That was my fault.
Yeah.
It sucks. I get that though.
Yeah. And I had only seen the movie 2 or 3 times. Like, I'm not addicted to Back to the Future like other people are.
Yeah.
So I'd only seen
Just
the movie
your
2 or
guess
3
was
times.
more.
That's a major. I mean, she calls
Yeah,
him
you're right.
Calvin the
You're
whole
right.
freaking
You're
movie.
right. If I had seen
I
it
feel you,
recently,
though.
I would have remembered it.
When your mind goes somewhere else first, I don't know how you guys bring it back to what the actual answer is.
I know.
Because
Take
if the
those
first
JT
thing you think
rules.
of is Fruit of the Loom, then it's like
Right.
I couldn't name another underwear brand to save my life at that point. Once I think of one thing, it's like I cannot.
Jockey.
Right.
Which is why I can't play the game.
What I got confused about was Sergio Valente. Jeans were big in the 80s. So I was thinking Sergio Valente, and I was like, no, I don't remember them calling him Sergio. I don't remember. I'm running out of time. Fuck it. Fruit of the Loom.
I've
I
never
really
heard of
didn't know.
Sergio Valente
What did
until
you
right
think
now.
the nickname was? Fruity?
Loom.
Honestly,
Loomy.
I didn't even get to that part in my
Yeah,
head.
he wasn't even there.
No.
Yeah.
He's trying to get something out.
Yeah.
Called him
Yeah.
Fruta.
Yeah.
It was it. But
And
anyway,
then
so
Duluth.
Yeah.
where were we going?
Oh yeah. So anyway, so I don't know where we're gonna go with this, with the Back to the Future, if we do a fourth one. But I was saying Force Awakens works because look, remember Marty is the youngest of the brood when he gets into
Right.
this thing in the first movie. Couldn't you see Tom Holland be the youngest son of Michael J. Fox, having to go in and do this with everything could come
Absolutely,
back.
but I'd rather him have a daughter.
Could we do?
Okay,
We
maybe
already
I'm
saw
cool
it.
with that.
No,
Like-
I know you are. I didn't mean
Yeah,
it like
yeah,
that.
no, I know.
And it could be Tom Holland, but like, it's going to be so similar otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, here's
So
the
is
thing
Force
I was
Awakens.
thinking is if we all come in
But
with
did
our
have a woman in the lead,
with
yeah.
our Back to the Future pitch and we poll it, see what the fans like the best,
Mm.
because that could be a fun game because. You know, everybody's pitching the same thing. Marty has a kid. That's every reboot is the same freaking thing. Is
Everybody has a
the
kid.
dad has a kid.
Right.
It's always this freaking same.
It does work though.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Maybe the kid is parents at a junkyard.
Maybe
trading.
Doc's like Luke. Maybe Doc is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Shutting himself off from the force.
Yeah.
They can react. I don't know. 5. Fruit of the Loom.
Fuck you!
You yelled at them before the. You yelled at them before.
No, it was right after this.
Was
No,
this
it
a
was
live
before.
event or was this here?
Because you screamed. You screamed at them,
Yeah.
and I said they can react. You screamed at them before you
right.
even
Then
answered.
you repeated the question though.
Yeah.
Because I said I couldn't hear it.
Right.
Or McCampy, whoever it was that was asking
Crazy
the question.
All right, let's see. So I think that's everything regarding
Fruit of
news,
the
right?
Loom.
Is that everything
Well,
news?
we have the SD. Do you want to talk about the panels at all? Do you want to talk about
Yeah.
Netflix
Yeah.
being
Talk about
picky?
San Diego Comic-Con's panels. Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead. hit
Let's
that.
do it. We've got a Collider from the Collider.com. They compiled a bunch of the panels that are coming out here for Comic-Con, which I will not be going to, but
what's the big news?
let's see. Terminator Dark Fate is going to get a
We knew
panel.
that, right?
Batman Beyond is going to get a panel, 20th anniversary panel, which would be great. That terrible Marvel Games trailer
yeah.
will get a panel.
People hated that thing.
I think somehow Dorian spoke to them because they threw in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as some
Hall
important
When you're
panel.
saying right
Marvel's
now,
Agents of
yeah.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is getting a Hall
Wow.
H
On
panel.
Thursday.
They got
So
nothing on
all
that.
of these right now, when you say get a panel, you're talking about Hall H.
Hall H. Yes.
Yes,
This is
so
the major.
far.
This is the
Oh,
major
wow.
Hall H stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if.
Keep going.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, Hall H. His Dark Materials panel is coming. That's going to be on Hall H. That's the thing with Daphne Keane, James McAvoy, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and Ruth Wilson. It's an HBO show, I believe.
Okay.
Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely, the writers of Avengers Endgame, they will have a separate panel
Frosty.
for writing. No, this is a separate panel. Though, as writers, they're doing one at Hall H on Friday, July 18th at 10. Then the one with Frosty will be right afterwards at 11 a.m., where he'll be moderating the panel. Fear the Walking Dead is getting a panel.
They always get a Hall H panel as like a thanks to The Walking Dead.
I guess.
Bizarre.
Rick and Morty are getting a panel.
Finally-
This will be an Indigo Ballroom.
Oh, that's
H.
Indigo. I was going to say
Right.
they're usually in Indigo.
The Walking Dead gets a Hall H panel again. The Witcher, the one with Henry Cavill.
That'll be a big one.
That'll be Friday, 2:15 in Hall H.
Do I look like him?
Oh,
What?
My hair.
you look like
A little
Henry
bit.
Cavill.
A little
Yes.
bit. A little
Thank
bit.
you.
He's got to work on that
That's what I
chin
was
thing.
going
A little
for.
bit.
All right, so that's
Wow, I
that's
stumped you
Boys?
guys.
that's one of the bigger. This show.
Boys, the
this
Amazon.
is the one I was
looks
telling you
awesome.
about.
I'm 4 episodes in. I can't say anything because the embargo's still on.
But-
You've watched it?
I can't say,
bastard.
but this
You
is the
can't
one I
say
was. Remember, I was
anything?
telling you about it.
Blink if it's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right. He's can't.
I can't.
he
I'm not.
do it.
I'm in embargo till July 19th.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I
We're
can't.
on air
Is
right
it
now.
not? Oh,
Awesome.
what has happened?
Oh yeah, good. We're actually going. Are you going to be at Comic Con?
I believe so.
Because we're going to that party.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're going to that
Okay.
party. So all right.
I'm going to come.
The boys' party?
Can I come?
What
Yes.
night is it?
I don't know yet. She told me, but I forgot.
I can get invited to
That's
that.
one. That's one I want to see. Also, the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance.
Yeah.
So those three back to back to back. The Witcher, The Boys, and Age of Resistance. Now now I'm a little curious.
Okay. All right. Game of Thrones will have a
For what? What
Q&A session. Yeah.
For what?
Carnival Row.
Yeah.
Fucking A, yes.
Did you forget about that one? Amazon.
No. So Carnival Row. I'm so glad they're turning that into a show.
What did you read the book?
The script. The script was huge when I was at Silver about like 2005, 2006, and it was a traffic. What was the guy that?
That's the problem.
What?
Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne.
Why is that the problem?
Did you see Suicide Squad?
No, but that's
Yes, I
not. I
did.
don't think that's her fault.
Did you see Paper Town?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm
you like
so
Pepperton?
that's
No, I'm with him. I don't think Cara Delevingne.
He's a good actress.
We haven't seen enough to know, but I don't know why you pointed at Orlando Bloom.
No, I didn't point to
she was
Orlando.
talking about it. I'm excited about this
Cara Delevingne is
particular
really good.
this series
I like
because
Orlando.
the script, dude,
Yeah.
when it was going around,
I like
it was like
Mark
the
Guggenheim.
talk of the town.
It's basically, from what I understand, it's like Peaky Blinders meets Lord of the Rings.
yeah, some crazy shit going on with it. All right,
Nice.
that's awesome. Okay, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Thrones.
Preacher will get one.
Ooh, maybe I should go back and ask my Ruth Negas Rutabagas question.
Yeah.
Batwoman pilot screening and Q&A will happen in Ballroom 20, which is pretty cool.
The CW owns Ballroom 20.
And this is the one that I'm totally sad about messing with Marvel is the Picard panel, which will be Saturday, July 20th.
Okay, that's
at
11:30. Okay, so the next
Star Trek House of Picards.
Good Place.
For some reason, The Good Place is getting a panel.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
but
it's
it's
the
in
best
Indigo.
comedy on
It's
TV.
in Indigo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're in Indigo.
That's mostly the big TV stuff's in
Yeah.
Indigo.
Westworld.
Westworld's getting one.
Yeah.
And then the
Which is
Marvel.
also Josh's favorite.
Right, but
Yeah,
that's
I love
Marvel.
Westworld.
Marvel. There's
Yeah,
this
that's
is
the
big
massive
one.
one.
So the big one here, that's what we're curious about. Marvel's 5:15. They said it's going to be an hour and a half. So the instincts were right. We moved Schmodown, by the way, to 8:30, so people can actually and it is totally improved ticket sales. There's a lot of people.
How's it going?
Good. We went from like 65 people to 200. So
Nice.
So once we moved to 8:30, and you can. And so by the way, and I want to let everybody know about this. You can get a We have just for a little bit more. I don't know how much longer is left, but because we did like a fun promotion thing for the Amazing Spider-Man number 20 was the number 24 all-time box office. If you use a promo code 24 The Amazing Spider-Man, you'll get 24% off of the general admission tickets for the Schmodown. It's the schmodownlive.com.
This is so complicated. What is the word?
It's not that complicated. 24 The Amazing Spider-Man.
24 the number. 24 The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
24 The Amazing Spider-Man. And you type that in the promo code at checkout, and you can get 24% off. And it's the schmodownlive.com. You get Kalinowski and Cushing for the title, and the undercard is set. And Adam, the Haymaker Lavick, will be going up against the Smasher Kevin Smets in the undercard. Wow! So there's going to be 2 big Inner Geekdom matches that you guys can come check out. We're doing the meet and greet, all that stuff too. Come out and see us. And it's really the parties you can't really get into on Saturday night unless you go to Entertainment Weekly. So come out to the Schmodown after the Marvel stuff. We'll be talking about that big Marvel stuff maybe too at the event. So go and check that out. But this is going to be the big one, man. The Marvel Studios panel. They're going to announce their slate. That's really. I mean, what else are they going to show?
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to show preview stuff. They're going to show.
Yeah.
Did you like Cody? That was
great, Josh. That was great.
Right.
I was like, Jessica. I don't know how many TV shows.
No.
Okay,
They're going to show. They'll show art. They're going to do the same type of thing that they did when they did it at the El Capitan. They'll show certain artwork. They'll announce cast. It's going to be fantastic.
You're not going to go though.
I'm going to try.
Is this where they announced Keanu Reeves and Angelina Jolie?
They might bring him out.
The Immortals?
Yeah,
maybe
maybe
so.
Called?
I think they're going to use what star power they have.
Totally. Yeah, I mean that's what they did. Eternals. That's what they did for
That's what he said,
the same
right?
thing.
I said Immortals.
Yeah.
Oh.
The El Capitan had Robert Downey Jr. there. They debuted Chadwick Boseman there. I mean, everybody was there. So it's going to be the next phase, and Tom Holland will probably be there.
That's probably what they'll announce is their next phase.
That's what. It's a slate. It's exactly what it is. Yeah,
I can't.
Nice work.
I'm I'm on top of all these news stories. I'm sorry.
That's all right. But it'll be.
How does Riley do this? I don't know.
I don't know. But 5:15.
I think you're doing great.
Yeah.
It might be tough for me to get there because our meet and greet starts at 6:30. So I'm probably going to.
Oh, good for you.
It's a little ways away, isn't it?
It's like 15 minutes away from.
But at Comic-Con, 15 minutes will take you.
And that's why we wanted to make sure that we do it at 8:30 because originally it was 7. There was no chance. So you'll be able to make it 5:15. You go to the panel. You're done by 6:30, 6:45. You hop into an Uber. You come on over to the Schmodown, schmodownlive.com. Get those tickets.
You've also got Mark Ellis live on Thursday.
He's Thursday and a Friday?
Thursday. No, he's not Friday. He's Thursday, American Comedy Company, 7:30, 9:30. Ken and I are hosting the first show, and I may host the second show, and Ken may do a solo set. We'll see how that's going to go.
Are you going to be? Because we're going to Arizona in September at the Improv.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, you're performing. You're
Can I
competing in it. If you want, sure. And then October.
You don't care about me anymore.
August 31st.
August we're going to New York.
Can I come to that?
If you want, sure. And then in anybody can come if they want. And then in what's the next one? And then the last one that we're going to do is in Orlando in October. Orlando in October will be the last one that we do live this year.
Right?
Have you already figured out who's going to be in it?
We know. Well, I'll tell you right now. So John Rocha and Dan Merle are playing up against Corruption. They're going up against Corruption next week, and John's ready for it. And the winner of that will play the Shire Wolves, most likely. Nothing's confirmed yet. Whether it's going to be, we don't know where it's going to be yet. So we're planning that out to find out what's going to happen.
When are we going to get the Striar Wolves?
What's that?
Striar Wolves? Striar
Maybe
Wolves.
she could recruit them. Maybe.
Is that your new stable of people?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So one tag team loses the title, you just go pick up another one.
No,
she didn't leave anybody.
I would never leave my boys.
Yeah.
Not for anyone.
Anyway, so there's a lot going on. Make sure you check out the schmodownlive.com. But the Marvel Studios going to Comic-Con is exactly what we thought, and it's going to be. I think that's the big one.
Do you think Robert Downey Jr. just comes out to say a thank you? No.
I'm not going to be there. There's no reason for him to do that.
He'd have to literally get to San Diego because I don't think he has anything else he's promoting.
Video
He'd be in
message,
San
maybe.
Diego.
Oh, yeah, maybe video
message is possible.
But I mean,
what about Christopher Harris? I mean, Chris Evans.
No. No.
Chris Harrison?
Yeah, I was. Fuck you, Chris Harrison.
The only
What
time
about
you might,
Chris Harrison?
you might get them at that Frosty panel. That's when you might get them in because they're promoting the Blu-ray for the for Endgame.
Right.
So thank you. Let's open up those phone lines. Let's get the phone lines open. We'll ask any questions you guys have about anything we've talked about on the show thus far. Anything else you want us to talk about? Anything we missed? Go ahead and bring it up.
Neither of you guys watched Big Little Lies?
I did.
No.
Oh, you did.
And you like? Better?
Yes.
Okay.
a very interesting ending to the episode. We finally get a little bit of intrigue.
The
Just
ending
intrigue.
is awesome.
Yes.
Because what?
Yeah.
All right.
Because what?
I'm
is
too
right.
behind. I'm too behind on this one, and I need to watch Stranger Things.
I will also tell you.
The ending to that is awesome as
I
well.
will reiterate it every single week until the show is done with season 1. Do not watch Euphoria.
Yeah.
Do not watch it.
That's what you said. I know.
But you didn't even watch this week.
I've watched it. I've watched 40 minutes of it.
Yeah.
I gotta watch episode
That's
2 of
right.
Fleabag.
Yeah,
I liked
I'm
episode
sure.
1.
The end of Euphoria is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never not ended with a.
Yeah. I don't know if I can watch this. It's pretty dark.
Yeah. I will say this: we got back to West Hollywood yesterday, went to lunch, and we're driving by Hamburger Mary's, which we've mentioned on the show before. A little karaoke. We have the windows rolled down. It was a beautiful day here in Los Angeles yesterday, and we found "Love in a Hopeless Place," the Rihanna song. It was they were screaming, "I'll suck your dick in a public place." So Roxy, to be better, I think they need to stop singing that song at places. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, good. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Wow.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
It's Marco from Saskatchewan, Canada.
Hey, Marco. What do you got
up,
for us
eh?
today, man?
Are you close to Lloyd Minster?
Eh?
No, I'm in Prince Albert.
Prince Albert.
Ignore these idiots.
About a couple hours away from Lloydminster.
It's an actual town in
No,
Canada.
him. He was going. He was saying.
Yeah, don't listen to him. I
Yeah.
like Canada. It's amazing.
All right, what do you got for us today?
I'm not saying I don't like
You do. You don't like it.
That was a Canadian thing.
First, I just want to say I'm a huge fan.
Huh.
And I've got to disagree with you, Kristian, on that knockout. I think it wasn't lucky. I think he was totally, because Ben Askren's a wrestler, so he was going in for a takedown, and I thought he seen that. He took a knee right to the face. So I figure that was all planned for sure.
And that's not that's a good point of view, man. Also, too, I think where it comes from, it's not necessarily what I mean is that it was definitely strategic. There's no doubt about it because you got to make a move, and it's a big risk to throw that kind of knee. And you're not wrong that if you figure if he's going to come in try to go for a takedown right away, then you're taking a shot and you're throwing that big knee. My only thing is too that it's just because anytime a fast knockout like that happens, it's like even when Aldo got knocked out by McGregor in the was it the 15 seconds or 20 seconds whatever it was, it's like what happens if that fight goes a minute? What happens if the fight goes 2 minutes? Like that's why I just want to see more. Look, a win is a win, and the guy won the fight, and it was legal. I'm just saying I want to see what happens when their skills kind of match up. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, I just want to ask you guys, now that Disney's got Fox, everybody's talking about Aliens and like Predator and those franchises, but nobody seems to be talking about Die Hard. Do you guys think they're going to be doing anything with Die Hard?
It's a fantastic question.
Please God, no.
If John McClane isn't smoking cigarettes in it, then I'm not watching it.
I'm going to tell you, please God, yes. If they do it, if they get away from that bullshit year one nonsense that they were going to do.
Oh, a prequel?
They were going to do and get rid of Len Wiseman for that particular. He's fine on certain things. I just don't know if he works for this particular thing. If they're working on it now, he's got the gig. Then you see what happens. But if they're not, if it's kind of discontinued, then bring in somebody else because. So
you got a
Ben
really
Treblehook, by the way, who wrote the best Die Hard script out there, and it took place.
He does a Follow Friday for us every single week.
Dude, he did.
Legend.
But he did a script that takes place at Nakatomi and the anniversary in Japan, and it goes down in the headquarters in Nakatomi in Japan because somebody wants to go back and
That's badass.
because of the history, and McClane's got to do it again.
Is it a third brother?
Whoever it is,
Gruber brother?
I don't want to see a young.
Lars Gruber.
It's the same problem a lot of people have with this Indiana Jones thing.
Gruber.
You know, the Indiana Jones thing.
Yes, totally.
It's like, do you want to see a young?
But you need to inspire Bruce Willis.
I know.
Because that's your biggest hurdle with anything
Yes.
Die Hard is inspiring Bruce Willis to want to act or just be in a movie.
I don't think it's anything Die Hard. It's anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
I've seen him show up as an actor, like an actual character over the last 5 years, twice.
Yeah.
Looper. I actually thought he was
great.
He was great in Looper, but I actually thought he was decent in what's that split?
Unbreakable.
Last one.
Glass.
Thank you. I thought he was decent in Glass.
I was gonna get there.
Yeah, but those were the.
Yeah, he was.
But other than that,
Maybe
he's
there's
Bruce
just
Willis and everything
certain
else.
directors that he really wants to work for and with, and maybe that's M. Night Shyamalan. Maybe that's I mean, you got to get some kind of a huge name director onto a Die Hard, and the script has got to be awesome in order to bring back the lore that is John McClane.
We also need to figure out exactly what it's going to look like, the R-rated properties, once Disney gets the Fox thing.
Totally.
Because we've been talking about how it's just going to be, it'll be called Fox, right? And Because remember, people forget this, that Disney had Miramax and they were putting out rated R stuff for a long time. So that's not a problem. They know it's profitable. It's just, I think it's less of a Disney thing as much as it's finding the right take. Because, or you're going to find another, the last Die Hard, how it didn't kill the franchise in general.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
It was really
It was
bad.
so bad.
It was Point Break too bad. It was real bad.
horrible.
It was horrible.
No offense to Jai Courtney, friend of the show, but yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, and I think he'd probably tell you the same thing.
He almost said it in the room.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
oh, that's great.
He was
hinting around.
But that's not. It's not really.
What do you think about and you're obviously Joshua TV Hog and Roxy as well. Like, what do you think about a Die Hard TV series in that one season is a different story. Each one not the same person. It's a different person. Like with Fargo, different characters every season.
Like when they changed 24 from Jack Bauer to
that didn't
Designated Survivor
Corey Hawkins. They didn't do so well. But like you look at the Fargo stuff.
McClane
I
is
think
what
Fargo
makes Die Hard.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think Die Hard is a good movie without Bruce Willis. It's a great movie with him.
Okay,
I think you could do exactly what you're talking about and not call it Die Hard. It's not like that crazy of a premise.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Jack Ryan works. The series on Amazon was fantastic.
But Jack Ryan also has had traditionally many different people have played him before, so we were already accepting to that.
Totally.
John McClane was made famous by Bruce Willis and his personality, what he brought, that kind of East Coast flavor to it. So I don't know, man. It's a great question. Thank you very much.
Pride of Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
If you've never been to Saskatchewan, Canada, it's God's
never been
country.
to Canada.
It's amazing. Saskatchewan's amazing. Yeah.
Should we go?
Yeah, let's go next week.
All right. I have a passport.
I want to do a show there.
Congrats.
Hey,
I'd love to do a
I want to
Canadian
do
show.
Montreal. They really want us to come there too. It's just that you
Can
talk
I
about.
come?
Yeah, she's talking about expensive though. It's expensive. Hey, you're on Collider Live. What do we got?
Hey, how's it going? This is Alan from Florida.
Hey, man, what's going on? What part of Florida are you in?
I'm in Kissimmee.
Oh, cool.
Kissimmee, St. Cloud, lovely.
Would you be able to take a trip to Orlando?
Poinciana.
Would you be able to get a trip to Orlando if we came there?
Oh, most definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well,
Aren't you going?
October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What's the date in October again?
I have that. We haven't announced it.
That's around my birthday. My
Awesome.
birthday's October 30th.
Oh, shit. So it'll be around that.
Devil's
not too
Night.
Far. Not too far.
Halloween.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's also my anniversary.
Really?
Yeah.
Of meeting or of marriage?
Marriage. Yeah. Marriage. Sweet marriage.
We come together.
All right,
today.
Florida. What do you got for us today?
All right, so the questions, I have two actually. The question is, do you think a Legend movie would hold up today? And if so, who do you think would be a good cast to play the Lord of Darkness?
That's a great call. Andy Serkis for
Sorry,
Lord of
what?
Darkness.
Allegedly?
Legend. The Ridley Scott, Tom Cruise, Mia Sarah film. Yeah, man. I think Andy Serkis would be great, and I think it would hold up tremendously. But what I actually think would work there. Now that's a sequel I'd like to see Ridley Scott do because that was the only fantasy movie he's ever done. So that's a movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
They had the ending open.
Yep, I'd like to see a follow up to that. I don't think you need to do a remake, but I think a follow up with Ridley Scott, and maybe even bringing back Tom Cruise would be very interesting. So I mean,
mind that.
because it wasn't like a massive hit, but it was certainly a cult hit. So I'm always encouraging of new fantasy films. I always want to see new ones, but yeah.
I liked I Am Legend with Will Smith.
Yes.
Good movie.
Or Legend with Tom Hardy, which I didn't
Yes.
Legend of the Fall.
Legends of the Fall.
Legends of the Fall.
But I love it.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way.
I actually just showed my nephew, my two nephews actually, that movie not so long ago. I think like two or 3 weeks ago, because they've never even heard of it,
Yeah.
never seen it. I was like, oh really? Well, you like Tom Cruise?
Yeah, Legend very I don't want to say underrated, but just very underwatched.
Yeah.
Well,
because it was really before Tom Cruise was the massive star that he was too. So when it popped,
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was his very first movie.
No,
it wasn't his first.
It was his first
No.
movie.
It
Endless
wasn't
Love
his
is his first movie.
Yeah, it was that's with Shelley Duvall, right?
No.
Which is the one with Shelley Duvall where he's like go bring up Tom Cruise's IMDb page, please. There's
Endless Love, he's the gay lover of the main guy.
No, that's not it.
That's the movie.
No, that's the movie. But he was in this movie and they were doing a road. It was like a road trip. And it was Fandango,
I think it's called.
Really?
I think.
Let's see. So Is it Taps? No, that's not Taps.
Losing It.
Losing It was it. Yeah, so it was Losing It. Legend didn't come out until after he was a big star, actually. All the Right Moves.
Oh, yeah.
It came out. Oh, no, it came out at the
What
same
made
time.
you think it was called Fandango?
But there's another one called Fandango where they go and I
but
forget
he's
who's
not
in
in
that.
it. Yeah. But The Outsiders he was in Endless Love, Taps, and The
Taps.
Outsiders, Losing It, Risky Business, All the Right Moves, and then Legend.
Where did All the Right Moves take place?
Okay.
All the
His teeth
Pittsburgh.
change. Here.
Yeah.
At Top Gun, his teeth change.
Is that where they changed it?
What do you mean?
His teeth, when you watch the earlier films, it's his
Yeah, he
teeth
got
are
his
like,
teeth fixed.
Yeah, he's got his teeth fixed. Like
Yeah.
and like Affleck
I
did for
love
Armageddon.
crooked teeth. I have
Yeah?
like a thing for not like really bad, but a little. I think it's so weird when somebody has like the most perfect teeth. It makes them look like a serial killer.
Would you kiss a guy with weird teeth, like crooked teeth?
Well,
Yeah.
What about a
Not
missing
like
tooth?
so messed up, but like a little crossed.
So not chunk, but or not whatever sloth, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he did have rotten teeth. Yeah.
Those are bad.
He did have rotten teeth.
Yeah, those are really bad.
Yeah,
Those are
Affleck's
really
too.
bad.
Affleck had like baby teeth, and then
Fixed
he
them
got
up. I mean,
he got the Matt Dillon chiclets from
Look
something
at, I mean,
about
come on,
Mary.
look at it. Zoom into that. What do you call that?
That's rotten teeth.
Yeah.
It's bad teeth.
It's not good.
Well, it's the coloring is really
Yeah, that's what I
bad,
mean.
too.
It's like yellow. So you fix them up, get some money, and you do that.
Nothing
So
wrong
you
with
do.
it.
He
You
looks
wanna
like
be a
he
star?
should-
That's
He
what you
looks
do.
like he should have been in Outsiders with those teeth, and he looks like he should have been Top Gun with the other one. It makes sense.
That makes
And he
sense.
did what he did. He
What
said,
are you gonna
and he,
do?
you know,
Gabagool, good
you know
again.
what he would say? He's like, yeah, fuck you guys. I fixed my teeth.
It was me and Tooch. We were hanging out with our bad teeth. Tooch. Hey, yo.
Hey, you know, Tooch, I was thinking, should I get my fucking teeth fixed
I
or
was,
what?
like, listen, if you want to look like a fucking Jago, you keep the teeth you got. You want to look
My
better,
front
fix it
tooth
in.
is falling off.
Oh, it's a little crooked in the middle.
I want to say something.
Yes.
One of my favorite things about doing the show when I get a chance to be on the show is
Yes, Billy.
watching Roxy. I love Roxy's the show within the show.
Oh.
I enjoy it so
I'm
much.
so happy you love it because they give me so much crap for my reactions.
Who does? Really?
Christian,
Oh.
Josh.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, you're the show within the
Okay.
show.
Okay.
All right, you got somebody else? Thank you. Hey, you're on Cloud Live. Who do we got?
Hi, my name is Jason from New Jersey.
Hello, Jason. from New
Jersey.
What's going on, Jason?
Yeah, Jersey.
Jason, we're going to see you on August 31st or what?
I would, man, but
Nope.
You sound like a no.
anymore.
Cut out. What happened? I missed you.
Oh, no, I got to work. Man.
Yeah, all right. All right. Well,
You already know
works
you
for it.
got to work.
All right. So what's going on, man? What do you got for us today?
I was just wondering what your thoughts on the Halloween back-to-back sequels being filmed for 2020. I think David Gordon Green's coming back, and he wants to like put them out in the same month. Do you think that's like a good idea?
I haven't heard
Or has that been confirmed? But
I don't know
heard
if that's been
I read
confirmed.
that on Bloody Disgusting.
I don't know. I haven't heard
I'm
that
gonna
yet.
take a step back on this one.
We're going to see.
Me and the
It's
Tooch don't
Halloween
really care
2
for this movie.
Yeah, the next two Halloween sequels shooting back to back and releasing in the same month. This comes from Bloody Disgusting.
Bloody Disgusting?
Yeah, Movie Phone, a couple of different places. So it's just a rumor right now. It's nothing confirmed for sure, but it's. I don't know if you do that. I don't. I don't see the business decision here. I would say if you shot them both and put one out in October 2020 and do the second one the next one October 2021. Why give it all away in one shot if you have it all filmed?
Director, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't.
I mean, I guess
as a fan, I would love that, because the more the better. Like, I love.
But you are a very
Star
small
Wars.
minority
You
on that
can't
one,
give
my
me enough
dude.
of Star Wars. Like, anything I love, I want to see more of. I'm not one
Sure.
of the fans that complain about, like, too much.
Right.
I want to see.
Right.
I'm only here on this earth for a limited time. I want as much as I could get, while I'm still here and able to experience.
Yeah, but
great
dude, you are
movies,
you're a very small minority in the fact that like you will go see back-to-back Halloween movies. I mean,
I don't
the
think
casual
that's true.
won't Really?
I think that I
mean, I won't see other ones. Who
I think
gives
this
a
is
shit,
really
but-
interesting.
Yeah.
Because if you see the first one and you love it, you're going to go back in a month to see the second one.
Yeah.
If you don't see the first one and the second one comes out and people are talking about it, you're going to go see both of them that are currently in theaters. So I'm not saying that this is a smarter move than October, but it's different. It's
different.
interesting, and it could work.
It's a curious move for sure, but if I was in the business room, I'd be like, guys, we're shooting both of these things, and we really like them a lot, and no one else has October. Let's take 20 and 2021.
It is just a rumor?
It's just a rumor.
It's
not
not
confirmed.
weird to shoot them back to back.
No, not at all.
It's just the 1 month thing. Isn't it?
That's the biggest thing. No, shoot. I mean, I think that if you have the budget to do it and you can shoot movies back to back and get the same director, you should do that more often.
How
but
soon
it's
did they
not-
release Kill Bill and Kill Bill 2? Do you remember?
It was a year. I
It was a
believe.
year.
I believe it was.
That was a
I
year.
thought it was
Yeah.
even longer, wasn't it?
No, I think it was within a year. Or it might have been within 6 months.
I think it was 6 months.
It might have been within 6
Because
months.
it was like in the early
But that's
spring.
different, though. That movie was shot as one
They
long
were told,
movie.
and you were in the press releases said before
Yes.
there was. But this is interesting because this could motivate
October
people.
2003 to April 2000.
Yeah,
so whatever that is.
This could motivate people to go see the first sequel because they know the second sequel is coming out. I understand the decision if they actually make it. It's a revolutionary decision, but you're taking a huge chance that, like Josh said, that people want to see 2 Halloween movies in a month. That's a lot.
In the month of October, though?
Yeah, it's still
It's
a
also
lot.
it's also money. You know, it's also it's. I mean, if you get some kind of discounted deal or something though too, but like it's also like $15 a ticket. To
You
see.
also have to you appeal to a lowest common denominator. So let's just say somebody, a common movie fan, goes to the theaters and sees one Halloween and another Halloween. He's like, oh, so it's just playing in the same theater. I'll go see whatever. And then he goes to another one, and then like somebody's got to explain to him that there's another one.
You're not wrong. The marketing really has to be very, very
specific.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a bad move. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. Thanks for the call,
it
man.
happens.
I hope it does. It's
Just
for the
'cause I'd like to
experiment.
see- I'd like to see how it does.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a big chance to
I wouldn't do it with my movie, but
right.
Movies.
Yeah. If you're out there, but you're right. As far as an experiment goes, I wonder how it does because maybe it starts a trend, but nobody wants to be on the losing end of that trend.
And,
You know,
and
that's
if
the
you
thing.
want it to be like a double feature kind of a thing, like we're going to go see double feature, whatever, you have to release that first Halloween like middle of September so that the double feature becomes a thing in the middle of October.
I just think if I'm the studio, I'm like, why are we giving it away in 1 month? Let's
Totally.
if we have it and we're shooting back to back. We'll tell people what's coming out this October, and then now we have 2
I mean,
movies.
do you remember the anticipation for Return of the King? Like after Two Towers, I was more excited for Return of the King than I've been for a third movie in a long freaking
What's the
time.
serialized stuff?
You mentioned Return of the King more than anybody I've ever met.
Really?
Yeah, you talk about Return of the King all of the time.
I do?
On this show, you bring it up all the. You're like, that's the Return of the
this
King
show?
of this. This is the Return of the King.
Out there, you rarely mention.
No,
it.
never. But in here, you've mentioned it so many times.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
I've never noticed that about me, Roxy.
Tooch.
Oh, it's the Return of the King of the franchise. Well,
Somebody do a
they're going for a
somebody
Return
do
of the
a
Thing
cut.
kind of thing.
So let me do a whole video cutting
telling
in.
you guys.
Josh
Enter
mentioning
the strength.
I like the Two Towers. That's my favorite one. Of
Anytime
the
we talk
whole
about Oscars, it comes up too.
thing. Yeah, it's true. Well,
So
because we
Return of
are
the King and-
Endgame is your Return of the King situation.
Let's do one more call and
Do
we'll
you
call it a
think?
day. Hey, you're on Collider Live. What do we got?
Hey, it's Garrett from Ohio.
Hello, Garrett.
Hey.
How are
What's
you,
up,
man? What do you
Garrett?
got for us today?
So I actually have a question for Roxy about Big Brother.
Oh, I did watch last night. I
Hang
did watch
up.
last night.
Hang up. Hang up on him.
Find another question. Chick.
I'm caught up before last night. Can you
Well,
still ask
it
or
doesn't
no?
actually have to do with the previous episode. It just has to
Okay.
do with some
It's
stuff
Panics.
going on around social media. So,
Yeah,
you
talk
know,
to me.
I don't know if you've seen all the allegations against Jack and Jackson so far.
About the
Jack
racist
and
stuff?
Nikki, I guess. Yes. So
He's
I was
from
just
Jackson,
curious
Mississippi?
What your thoughts were on that.
I think that if it's not a coincidence, so to give you guys a little bit of background, because I think this is what you're talking about. Basically, one of the guys, a white guy, had to nominate 4 people for something. I'm really like not.
Is this like a game within the house?
Kind
like a
of, yeah.
competition?
And there were only 2 black people. He put both of them up. He put, I believe, she's a plus size, possibly Hispanic person, and the older gentleman in the house. And everybody else in the house, for the most part, is just like a white girl or guy. So a lot of people on social media were like, and they'd only known each other for like 24 hours. And people were like, what the hell? Like, this is insane. And a lot of people were saying racism, and a lot of people were saying, no, it's coincidence. I think if it is coincidence, he's a moron, because how do you not see the optics of that? There's 24/7 live feed, so we know he didn't say, or at least correct me if I'm wrong, he didn't say out loud anything of those things, but like how you could do that and not see that's what you're doing, and you're on national television, you have to be smart in that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Where is he from? Jackson, Mississippi? He said
no,
Jack
his name is Jackson,
Oh, Jackson.
and he's from the South.
Okay.
Do I have that correct? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's actually, and there's been, specifically with the live feed stuff, there has been some discussion. Like, he does say some things that are a little bit off-putting on the live feeds, but I don't think he said anything, like, overtly racist or anything like that, but people have taken it that way, and it's just really...
Can I ask you a question? What's your name again, man? I'm sorry. What's your name again?
Garrett.
Garrett. Why do you watch Big Brother? No, I mean, honestly.
Because the best.
This is actually a really interesting story. So I have a couple of friends I do a YouTube channel with, and they've been doing coverage of it for a couple of years, and the fans in our chat actually wanted me to do it. So like, I can't not.
Okay.
That's fair.
It's honestly the
Fair
best,
enough.
and it brings up a lot of conversations like this. And again, I don't want to accuse this guy of anything that he might not be.
Accuse him. Go ahead.
But if he's not racist, he's a moron.
Okay.
Because that's
Use your head.
Use your head. Like,
Right.
you know, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That was your decision. You were like, just randomly put these people, randomly put other people, bro. Like, that's so. If you are not racist, then you're stupid.
Like you said, read the room.
Read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room.
Anyway, guys, Garrett, thank you for the
Garrett.
call, and to you guys, that's the show. So I wanted to thank everybody here today for joining us. Roxy, Rocha, Macuga, hey Alex, and Cody Hall. Thank you guys for everything that you do for this show, as far as liking any of these videos, commenting on them, joining the Facebook group, downloading us on the podcast. Make sure that you not only subscribe to this channel, the YouTube channel, but subscribe to Collider's main channel. Do that. A lot of great shows over there. And get those tickets to Schmodown Live. Like I said, you have those discounted codes. Check out. I'm going to be doing some more fun giveaways for the Schmodown. Go to my Twitter at Kristian Harloff, and we will see you tomorrow.